My boy TC, welcome into
Big
Brett
Chris.
Mentor, brother. How you doing, big dog?
Hey, I'm great, man. Another day to be great, and we're here today to get better. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. Listen, not only do I appreciate you, but like we were just having this conversation a moment ago, bro. Like the way that you're connected to bringing honor into the game is just one of the most notable things about your character. Because, like we were just saying, you were like, if these are the times in my life, which is what you were saying, where I know that things are going to be hard. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with conviction, like it's from the Lord. And I love
Absolutely.
that about you, bro. It's just hardcore beast mentality. It's like if I'm going to go through it and and it's got to be hard, I'm going through it like a beast. I'm going through it like a legend, and there's no looking back, bro. TC, introduce the people to who you are, how we met, and what you want to put out there, bro.
Absolutely. My name is actually Tawana Caldwell. TC is just a nickname. Obviously, TC Tawana Caldwell is just the initials. People widely refer to me as that. I've accepted it when I was younger, so it's just been a running name that people call me. I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts. Right now, I work in human services and education. I work about 90 hours a week. I also train. I'm a basketball trainer. I work at a gym, privately owned gym, which I have full access to at any point in the day. But yeah, like I said, I work super hard. My mission is to just be the best man I can be every day, provide as much value to everybody around me that I can, and just to be successful. Because if I'm successful, then everybody around me that I love is successful, and then I can push that success out to the rest of the world. Chris and I met through the we had a Airbnb, right? And Beate, the person that set up the Airbnb, is well connected with Chris. Great Miami connect for everybody who doesn't know Chris. Chris came through. He introduced himself as a legend he is, and he just toured us around Miami. He showed us connections. He networked with us greatly. I've met so many great connections through Chris. It's insane. A couple of them are influencers. We actually have ongoing conversations. I don't know about projects in the future. It's a possibility, but those possibilities wouldn't even be here without Chris. So I just want to take a moment to shout Chris out for that, being very hospitable throughout the whole process of the Airbnb, of the Miami event, of the networking event in general. Amazing person, great connection, like I said. But yeah, man, that's me. That's my background briefing. I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts. I don't know if I mentioned that. I was born in Boston. I grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts. So I'm still out in Mass. That's pretty much a broad summary of who TC is.
Bro, I appreciate the introduction and the blessing, brother.
Of course, of
Because,
course.
like, let me go ahead and break it down even further. For you guys that are just tuning in and you don't know, me and TC are part of a brotherhood, man. We really are in a fraternity, like together, you know. And as a part of that fraternity, as soon as you meet a brother, and I actually got a chance to sit down and get to chop it up with my dog TC over here. And I learned a lot of notable things about his character. He is a community leader for those that don't know. He is driven to help those that are younger than himself, and he's driven to save people. So we're going to get into like the education, early childhood education that you're involved with. We're going to talk about firefighting. But one of the things we're going to do most of all is shout out our fresh and fit compadres over there. Shout out Icy, Bills, Mo, Aaron C. Pogson, Fresh, and Myron. Let's go ahead and talk about Myron real quick because you and Myron, shout out to Myron. Shout out to Myron on X. You know, Myron always be on X. We'll probably clip this up and send it to the big dog, Myron on X. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
let the people know about a very notable conversation that you had with Myron from Fresh and Fit.
So yeah, it's actually pretty funny because once I mentioned it, most of the guys around actually heard the conversation. It was a call-in show, and I was asking Myron about advice on what I should do with my next move. And I gave him a bunch of ideas just sporadically, my young-minded self as I am. And he's just like, dude, you got so much shit going on. Focus on the task at hand. Like I just told you guys, right? I work 90 hours a week in human services and education. I also deliver on the side, and I'm also a basketball trainer. I have all those things going on, but I recently applied to be a firefighter. I passed the physical exam and I passed the written exam. Within the next month or so, they'll reach out to me and I'll go through the hiring process. I told Myron all of this stuff. He said, dude, fuck all of that shit you have going on. What you need to do is focus on being the best firefighter possible. And I didn't understand what he meant at first because my initial question was, he did it. He worked in a government job and he also did fitness. I'm also in fitness. I go to the gym every morning. I have actually people that rely on me to tell them their macros, to check in on them. I hold a lot of people accountable in the gym. So I thought fitness trainer, government position, this is actually Myron's route. So I'm gonna ask him about it. When I asked him about it, he shot that shit down immediately. He was like, dude, fuck all of that. You need to focus on being the best firefighter you can be. Right now, I work 90 hours. He said, apply that same work ethic to being the best firefighter. Learn the devices, learn the tools, learn the equipment, learn the people, learn the area. Be the best you can be. So by the time you are able to release yourself from that position, you'll be that much notable and you'll have that much more on your resume. And it stuck with me when he said that because right now I do as much as I can in all of the positions that I am. And even right now, I have a bunch of job referrals. I just don't want to take them because I think I'm past that level. But nonetheless, I have them. And it's because of the work ethic that I put forth. So if I apply that same work ethic to the firefighting and to just being that community leader, as Chris said, those opportunities will just expand that much more, especially with the plan that I have going forward, because I do want to move down south with Chris down in Miami because there's
Yes.
extreme opportunity and possibility down there. And I just need to get out of Massachusetts. If anybody knows about Massachusetts, one, it's a blue state. Two, you can only be so big in Massachusetts. Boston is the main area to be in, but even then, the living situation is just too much. I think Miami is just to play, especially with all the great people that I met and all the great connections. But just to bring it back on track, as Myron was saying, that conversation that he gave me a lot of insight because it made me realize if I do get the firefighter position, which I'm about 90% sure I'm going to get because I passed both physical and written exam, I'm just going to cut everything else out, like any relationship that's not really beneficial to me, any job that's not really paying too much, and just hone in all that focus, all the energy that I have as a young 26-year-old man into firefighting. Do that to the best of my ability for as long as I can, which I'm probably going to minimize it. Like I'm probably going to minimally do it for about 5 years. So I'll be about 30, 31 by the time I get out. But at that point in time, I'll have the connections that I need. I have the finances that I need. I have the financial literacy that I need. I have the connections that I need again. And I'll have all of the background knowledge that I need to expand into any network that I need to, especially with the Brotherhood that we're in Fresh and Fit, in Castle Club, in Premium. So, yes, sir. That was the conversation that Myron and I had.
Yes, sir. See, you guys see, my dog is literally just you could tell by the tip of the iceberg that he's on his path to achieving mastery. And it's really great. I believe that when we talked, you're 26 years old, right?
Yes,
TC
sir.
26, Massachusetts. So, just to hear that a brother this young is coming in with that much force, that much fire, and that much conviction, and that much fury is like this motherfucker is destined for success. So, we're just extending as much as we can all of our hands out to you to make sure that you get the successful platforms that you want to be on to get to where you're going, which is
I appreciate you.
clearly going to be on a boat smoking a big cigar doing some gangster shit, bro. If
Yes,
that's if
sir.
that's what you need, that's in your life path boat show. So and then I really liked when you touched on like financial literacy. So that that's a discipline. We're always getting better at that. Like even today, I was having a conversation about HISA, high yield savings accounts, why you want to have a high yield savings account, why that's not really known that much. So that's something I'll be bringing into the Skool community and just teaching you guys about how to invest if you don't know about that stuff. And once you have assets, diversifying your portfolio. But most of us are on a climb right now. And that's kind of the stuff that you and me have been talking about is that climb, right?
Yes, sir.
So, you know what? There's two things I'd actually like you to summarize that only you can do. Summarize the conversation that you and me have had, and also summarize the conversation that we were having at the Airbnb, what that was like, what we were all about, what we were all doing. Give them the sauce, bro. Give them the game. What were we discussing?
Well, first of all, Chris and I had I had a bunch of takeaways from all of our conversations. We had a culmination of conversations throughout the whole week slash weekend, and I could talk on this for 8 hours if I had the time to. But no, literally, seriously. But one of the main conversations what we had was when we first got to we met on a bunch of occasions, but when we actually sat down and talked and we got to know each other, he basically saying the same thing that Myron said, but in a more condensed and like personalized sense. Basically saying that yes, it takes patience to work with the kids and it's a necessary thing to do, but in the same breath, he realizes my potential, which sometimes people do have a tough time doing, and that's why I'm grateful for somebody like Chris, who's able to be like, "Yo, this is what you're doing, and it's good, but you can be doing something else. You can be doing something better. You can be in something better. You can be in another situation that can be beneficial to not only yourself, but the people that you're trying to reach in a more efficient way. Like the reach that I have now is more intimate and closed in. Like I only have reach within the city of Springfield and a couple of places in Mass. What he was basically saying was to relocate, which is what we were talking about Miami. But once we relocate, we'll have that networking that we're talking about because everybody from Miami is not from Miami. They're from like me, Mass, Oklahoma, Chicago, wherever the case may be. So once I come to Miami and get there and establish myself there, with the knowledge that I have, with the experience that I have, with the networking abilities that I have with Chris and CEO Network and Castle Club and all of those guys, I'll be able to use my with honed in skills to use that reach to get further, not just us close a one city in mass. That was one conversation that we had with Chris and I. Now back to the Castle Club guys, what we had at the conversation that we had at the Airbnb. We all laid out our pretty much our careers and our goals and what we had planned out for the future. And the consensus of that conversation basically was that all of us have a specific skill and all of us can use each other. There was about 16 to 17 guys at that table. And there was at least 4 to 5 connections, at least from the first 2 to 3 people that spoke about what they do and how they do it. There was 2 guys in tech that I could think of right away, Beate and Roger. They're both really versed in what they do. Roger, first of all, he's a fucking stud. He works, well, he's scheduled to work like 70 hours a week, but the AI system that he has with the chat GPT generates about 80% of his work. So he's only working about 20 minutes to an hour a day. That in itself, when I heard that, I was just like, oh shit, like I'm at the table with a bunch of guys that have a plethora of skills that we can all use to help each other. Because the next guy that went up, he was in drop shipping. So he was like, wow, you did that. I can probably use your skill to, auto generate trends. So when I need to find a trend on Amazon to send out a new product that's trending, you can already have it set up. That saves about 80% of my work. Now he can hone in his work on those hours that he used to work on to find those trending words. He can use those hours to hone in on something else. So it was just crazy. Like when I was just listening to everybody speak about what they're able to do, it was just like idea after idea just clicking in my head. This guy could work with this guy. We could work with him. It was just amazing how all of it just, there was so much knowledge and potential at that table. And I really don't like the word potential because that's like it's like a hit word, like a really, like, it sounds good, but there's a gap, right? That gap, I wish there was a word that I could think of right now, but that gap is what we're more interested in
like a
than just the
limiting
potential.
belief almost. Potential is like a limiting belief versus like the reality of fulfilling it.
I don't want to say potential. I want to say those guys there all have the ability to achieve something great in their own respective aspects, but together, the I'm sorry, there's just so much because the limits are, there is no limits with all of those guys together, putting our minds together and working together. It's just insane how far we can take success, period. We can really up the echelon on that in general. But yeah, it was just amazing to be able to be in a room with so many men that have like-minded, like, working ability. Not a lot of people have that around them, and that's where I was lost for a little while, and that's why I'm very grateful for Fresh and Fit, for Chris, for CEO Network, for Castle Club Premium, because once I got introduced to that group of men, then I was like, oh, so we're not alone. There's a bunch of us, but we're just all scattered around. When you're dealing with the same people that are just closed-minded and super content with their situations, it's hard to go about life, especially when you have that mindset to just want to achieve more. But like I said, once I got introduced to Castle Club, it just made my whole mind just open up even more.
It literally adds credence to the saying, biblical saying, iron sharpens iron. Am I freaking right, my boy? Like, because, like you're saying, like if I've experienced that, and we all at some degree have experienced that. Like when you're around a bunch of, like in a blue state, around a bunch of blue pill people, and you are not of that mentality, like you really want to grind, you really want to be an entrepreneur, you really want to work, and they don't, you literally get tripped up. You literally get wary, is the word that I would use. You get torn down, wary, you get stuck because like their entire life is built on limiting beliefs, whereas our life is built on the potential climb up to be even greater than, let's say, like a Donald Trump, or like the best version of your possible self. You just want to go for the highest high version of TC. That's really what I got on the call today, man. Because like when I met you, I was like, this motherfucker got the spark. This dude ain't gonna stop. It doesn't matter where we put him. If you give me the mentality of like, when Batman had his back broken, he climbed out of the cave. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what you do to this dude, you break his fucking knees, he will still cross the finish line, son. You think he came here to play? He ain't come here to play. He came here to win today. And that's the whole like energy that comes from you in a very pure way, dude. So there's so many things that we talked about, and that was just like finishing up a conversation that you and me had, and then you and me had at that table. And then right before we get into the stuff that we're about to lab on right now, I believe you said you wanted to clarify some of the things that you were talking about with like Vitae and the key stuff. So if you want to get that off your chest right now, my boy, go ahead.
So if you guys don't know, it's an ongoing joke about you have the keys. Chris
Hey,
is
you
fucking
got keys,
hilarious.
keys,
Yeah.
keys.
So this is one of the other things that this is another opportunity that I had and why I take to heart what Myron said, because there is a lot of opportunities on the table, but I have to take the one that's most prevalent and most adapt for my life and what I want to achieve. So the other opportunity that I had, right? Like I said, I work at a private gym. I have about 7 to 8 athletes that I train. I only make about $300 a month from training the athletes, but that's not why I do it. Like I said, it's more so for the reach into actually, I genuinely want to see these guys be better. They've been a part of my program for about 3 to 4 years now, and I just want to see them be great. I got 2 guys into college last year. One didn't play a lick of varsity basketball. If you guys don't understand how hard it is to go from not playing basketball or any type of sport and then going to have to play collegiate basketball or any kind of sport, it's insane. It's a crazy leap, but he did it. We got that guy into college. We also had another guy. I'm not going to say his exact GPA because it's fucking embarrassing and I'm embarrassed for him. But he had a very bad GPA, and we got him into a Division II JUCO. JUCO is a junior college. Division II is the second division. There's 3 divisions. There's one, two, three. It's the second best division that you can be in as a collegiate athlete. He's there on a full scholarship. He's not paying a dime to go to school. Those are the 2 guys that I got into college this past few years, or this past year. This year we have about 4 seniors, and we're working on getting all 4 into college right now. So I'm just really locked and loaded, and I'm focused on trying to get my guys into college. That's that. That's the background on who I am as a coach. Now, the way that I'm able to do what I do as a coach is one of my best friends growing up. He has a gym out in Springfield. It's a basketball gym. It also has a weightlifting facility. It also has a turf outside for football athletes. I utilize the gym myself to train those athletes. But in the same breath, that gym is also utilized for rentals. You can rent the gym to, I don't know, play pickleball. You can rent the gym to play volleyball. You can rent the gym to play basketball. You can rent the gym just for yourself, whatever the case may be. You can rent the gym for X amount of time, for X amount of dollars to utilize the gym for whatever you need to use it for. Beate came up with the idea that since I was pretty much a trusted member of the gym, seeing I have the keys, as you guys see, now I'm connecting everything.
Hey,
I
yeah,
have the
yeah,
keys to the gym and I'm able to access the gym whenever I please, 24/7. Whenever I want to get into the gym, I can access it. His idea was, especially since, like I was just talking about with college, so you can understand the situation. There's a specific type of basketball. There's high school basketball where you actually play in season for your respective school, and then there's AAU basketball. AAU, I forget what it stands for. It doesn't really matter. It's not that important. But that season is typically from the fall to the end of summer. So around like we have my team has tryouts March 20 or March this weekend actually, March 8th, March 9th. Tryout starts, the season starts at the end of March and it ends in the beginning of August, end of July, right? That period of time, those kids, any team that they want to play on, not their respective high school, there's a huge plethora of AAU teams that they can choose from within their area or anywhere else, New York, Boston, wherever you want to go. It's across the country. AAU is very important to a aspiring collegiate player's career because it helps project their ability to get into said college, whatever they want to get into, right? So, with that being said, that's the background of what AAU is. It's not connected to high schools at all. So that means it's very difficult to get a gym. Gyms are very necessary because you need to practice in said gym to get better, to get into AAU, to get into college. We have a gym. Exactly. We have the key and get into the gym whenever I want to. Beate's idea was to basically generate a chat GPT email to attract all AAU programs from around my area to culminate them and attract them to use our gym or our facilities for their benefit. It's a trade-off because they need it and we obviously we're getting paid for it. We're a business. So that's the trade-off. So Beate's idea, like I said, is to generate an email, get some clientele, bring them in, and then use the gym from like 9 a.m. up until 12 a.m., which is a very long day. But as you guys just heard, I work 90 hours a week anyways. That's nothing to me. So with that being said, that's an opportunity as well. And that's the opportunity that I wanted to bring to Chris. And I had to talk to Chris about it because Beate and I argued for literally Like, and that's my brother. After that, he's my brother because most guys, when you confront them and you try to have a conversation, especially tough ones, they bitch out. They don't want to say what they really mean, all of that shit. But Bete stood his ground and he stuck to his guns and he talked about what he wanted to talk about me. And it took me a very long time to understand what he was saying. But when I understood what he's saying, it clicked. Now I'm able to regurgitate the information and articulate it to you guys and to Chris like I'm doing now. So Chris, we were at a pinnacle. We were at a cross or a fork in the road because we didn't understand what Beate was saying with the authority thing. With my boy giving me the keys, but not really fully allowing me to do what we're talking about. But Beate caught me. Like I just told you guys, I have 8 clients. I probably work out at one time max like 5 to 6. That's like a small group of clients at one time. He was basically saying, if you're able to use that gym, that facility for X amount of time with those amount of clients, why can't you do that with an AAU team? I said, well, because it's a bigger group. He said, that's a group itself. I was like, oh, you're actually right. If I just push it to him as these are my clients for the day and I pay him for the gym anyways as a rental, pretty much like the space, but I'm able to pocket some of that money, that's a business. I have clients and I can fill that gym time. I'm winning, the owner's winning because one, he gets the marketing because other people from all over the place are using his facilities. Two, I get the networking skills that I need because I'm able to talk to those people and I'm able to show off my knowledge about basketball, the gym, all of those things, my personality. And then 3, that facility or that AU program, they have a trusted gym. So now they can use us for years on end. And that's reoccurring income every year.
There you go.
Was telling me I wasn't receptive of it at first because I was thinking about all variables that didn't really matter.
Like the
I thought
political
they mattered.
side.
Exactly, the political side, which doesn't matter. As long as the money's going, everybody in business knows as long as the money going, the political side doesn't really matter. So, like I said, as long as the owner gets paid his due and the customer gets their service, everybody's good. And once he broke it down like that, I was like, that's when I had the aha moment and it rung for me. But yeah, that's pretty much the business idea, Chris. So what are your thoughts about that?
So listen, first and foremost, let's just go ahead and shout out our Red Pill Brotherhood because is it not true that our boys in that community seem to like we can be chill, but we really do have like the toughest mentality, so we don't bitch out and we just get stronger from talking and hashing things out and get to the bigger, better point, which is all about self-improvement anyway. Is that not the fucking mission, my boy?
I couldn't have that conversation with a bunch of friends that I knew since I was little. And they would have bitched out and got out of the conversation, and nobody would have gained anything from that conversation. With that conversation that Bete and I had, he gains clientele because one, my boy's website, fucking awful. Bete, boom, that's a connection right there that he can use, and then I use Bete because he helped me with the idea for the Chat GPT to help generate. That's 3 way. That's 3 people benefiting from one conversation. Holy shit! Like, come on.
There you go. And that literally puts you in a leadership position you were born to manage because if you can deliver a quality customer experience, then that's just going to be a better, bigger recommendation for you every time. You know, shout out to Baite because me and him have also had really good conversations. And he actually just brought me a client that I was talking to before I got on the phone with you. And this guy, you know, he is a full-blown millionaire. That's how he sells himself. He shows you his bank statements and he wants you to know, I have money, I have money. So I have now, as you are hitting a point of mastery, I have hit a point of mastery that Bayate knew that my mastery would be a good recommendation for this gentleman. And if you can really perceive it from this gentleman's perspective, he has all this hard-earned money and he sells himself as somebody with money and he literally wants to use that money with me. He wants to take his hard-earned money and say, here, please, you take some of this so I can get some more back. Because he knows that through achieving mastery, because I'm focused on this one area, that we have something that can grow here. So for the lack of his knowledge or time in this space, and for the abundance of my knowledge and time in that space, that transaction solves the problem just like it's nothing. And these perpetual things just keep on going because another word of mouth recommendation allows you to negotiate and position yourself in another word of mouth recommendation position. And that's kind of like what you're already experiencing just from acknowledging the brotherhood, being around people that kind of have that mentality versus, bro. And this is something that we have to talk about that's unique to you, people that don't have that mentality, right? Now, something that I think everybody will benefit from hearing in your story is the kids that you're dealing with, man. Like literally, like I cannot tell you. I'm meeting, as you can imagine, in this line of work, in the people that suck at dating in their early 20s that are dudes. Some of them are girls in their like, I got one that's like in her 40s now. She can, she needs to figure out. She's a single mom, so it's gonna be a harder road for her. But like for the younger audience, man, they are dumb as fuck. And I'm talking to the 20-year-olds right now. They're dumb as fuck. They're like, the school has thrown them to me all not assembled, and I'm not able to have like, I can understand them and I understand what they're thinking, and I'm able to articulate back to them what they're thinking, but they can't communicate to me anything. And they don't have normal drive. They're very lazy and very entitled, and it's very confusing to see how they developed all that. But I'm talking about full grown adults. TC, bro, take it away. Please give us the full experience of what it's like giving early childhood education to the children in America today. And please outline the problems that we could be suffering from in the future.
They have no social skills. I literally have issues on a day-to-day basis that can be solved with a simple conversation, but they are simply unable to have said conversation. And that is frustrating, but that's why I took the job. Not a lot of people are willing to do what I do, and it's understood. It takes a lot of patience, but in the same breath, somebody needs to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a situation today. There was a situation where, right, we have the opportunity to give kids space from the classroom if they're not mentally there, if they're feeling emotionally distraught or any case, right? I'm asking a kid who I see is clearly not all the way there in terms of his mental space and wanting to work. And I'm asking him, are you okay? Do you need anything? Do you need a walk? Do you need to go get some water? Do you want to go talk to your clinician? Do you want to go? I'm throwing a bunch of options at this individual, and they're literally just blank, not responding, right? And then that triggers behaviors. Now he's starting to act out in class. So I'm like, dude, I'm giving you the opportunity to get out of this space, out of class, so you can get yourself together, regulate, as they like to call it, the clinicians. There's a bunch of psychiatric words that they use, but regulate is one of them. But I'm like, dude, I'm offering you all of these opportunities to get yourself together so you can conduct yourself in a classroom setting. And you're denying all of them. And then I disengage from that conversation because I have other individuals that need my attention and need my help. And then you act out.
So
Offline, which I'm going
that
to introduce. Go
is
ahead.
like a hyper feminine response, like a girl that seeks attention, but like really weird from a little kid. This is just weird, bro.
Dealing with two young boys and girls, not just women that do this, that portray, display this behavior that I'm talking about. But we talked about this offline, Chris, and the trans community and how they have a huge negative impact on our children. It's just insane. I don't like it. I think that I believe in freedom of speech 100%, but I also believe that our children should not be exposed to certain things because it could be a detriment to not only themselves, but kids have influence within themselves as well. If there's a kid that is higher in the hierarchy just because he's bigger, cooler, whatever, that kid has influence on the rest of his kids on what they think, how they eat, whatever the case. So the fact that the trans community has such a big impact on our kids is a problem with me. This is why. Those same kids that I just told you about who can't articulate themselves when they're in a space of distraught or they're emotionally distressed or whatever the case may be, those same kids are making decisions to make themselves transgender. Now, can you do you see where there's a discrepancy with me? Do you see where I get frustrated and why that's confusing to me?
No
They don't
ability to
have
make
the
the decision,
ability
but they make the ultimate decision.
to make decisions for themselves. We don't even let kids drive, drink, do anything in society that can be detrimental to themselves, but we're allowing them to change their gender. You speak on it, we're transphobic and all. No, that's not the case. We just don't want our kids influenced in a way that can detriment their life, change the course of their life path. Like that's just insane, dude. The same kids that we're talking about, like I said, there's two individuals that I have. They're both clearly, visibly women. They asked to be referred to as him and his.
It's crazy,
Disconnect there.
man. It's
There's a huge
inverted.
disconnect.
Yeah.
Huge disconnect. And that's what we're dealing with. This is what I'm saying. People don't really understand why I do this, right? The
Yeah.
job of educators in general is important, but especially my type of education, because this is the future of our fucking country. You guys are complaining
Yes,
about
bro.
Donald Trump, and you guys are complaining about Kamala Harris and the politicians that we have now. Our future politicians are fucked because all of them are going to have their dicks cut off and they're going to be feminized with blue hair. And you guys don't understand the like this is a huge problem. All of our kids are like this. Our kids are like this. And it's a problem because it's going to be on an upward trend until we nip it in the bud. But Donald Trump getting into office was a big plus because that nips a lot of that stuff in the butt. But we still have a lot of work to do up front before we can get to a better trajectory of our future. Because right now, boy, we're doomed. Because even the smart kids, Chris, they're super smart. But if there's a little niche of adversity, they just shut down. The adversity. If we have smart kids that are just brilliant, but they face a problem, they face an issue, they face some type of bump in the road, and they just shut down. What are we going to do in terms of the future when it comes to leadership?
It'll literally affect everything. Like
Yes,
your Amazon packages will stop coming. Your restaurants will stop being served. Your streets will stop working. It will literally be that they can't solve problems because they're going to have that beaten out of them. So, for everyone that's watching, yes, I'm going to clip up this. This will be on social media. And I'm going to speak in a religious context for a moment under my religious freedom. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like me for doing that, then go fuck yourself because I'm talking about God today, baby. Let's go. So check this out, man. I'm going to give you some personal things that I have come to conclude about the pronouns, right? There is a time in the Bible where Jesus famously goes to a man who is possessed by demons. And before he had cast the demons out onto the pigs that ran off a cliff and into the ocean, he went up to the man and he asked the man, "What is your name?" And the man could not respond because he was possessed by demons. And the demons answered and said, "My name is Legion, for we are many." And in that context is how I've always viewed the pronouns, because the pronouns do not identify a singular thing. It is as if it is a ritual onto something more. It cannot be seen or understood. It is they, it is them, it is him, it is her, it is his, it is she, it is she, her, but it is no actual individual. So the responsibility is everywhere else within a not a gay agenda, but a transsexual agenda. Now, I'm a little older than you, but back in the time that I was in high school, if you told me about dudes cutting their dicks off and becoming women for some alternative lifestyle, I would have said, "Oh yeah, that's straight up Satanism, bro." But today, it's so normalized because to normalize it, it is not normal. It's so normalized that most people don't even see the satanic agenda of it. So I wanted to know if you also can maybe relate to what I'm saying in the sense of pronouns being ritualistic or directly correlated to some sort of spiritual warfare on the children in your eyes.
I'm second generation American. My mother was born in Jamaica, raised in Jamaica. And if you know anything about Jamaicans,
My bad,
it's
dude.
not
Your audio's
acceptable.
cutting in and out there a little bit. Is it maybe you could reset the audio with your headphones or something? Sometimes it like I don't hear the beginning, but like I hear the middle.
Can you hear me now?
Let's fucking go, big dog. Keep going.
Perfect. So yeah, as I was saying, my mother's from Jamaica, and I'm a second generation American, and I grew up very traditional. She's very traditional. They don't play that gay shit in Jamaica. I didn't grow up on that. Oh
Fresh
no.
pile of rocks.
Yep. They don't play with the Mati man. But anyways,
Hey,
that and with the context given, right? It was never acceptable for anybody around me to necessarily be gay. It was like one of those things where they were around and we weren't disrespectful toward them, but like it was like they're over there and we're over here type thing. But the transgender thing, that's just a completely different like niche to me. It's just crazy. Like you have to really I've always believed in like self-confidence, self-love, but in a way that's not neglectful to my body. I would never do anything to alter my look, anything like that in a negative way. Like if I want to look different, I'll go to the gym. If I want to smell different, I'll put on like some, you get what I'm saying? Like I would never go to the extent of cutting off extremities. Like that's just it's my I'm not Myron and I would never go to this extent. That's why Myron's Myron. He says it's mental. It could be along those lines because there's no other explanation to why you would do such a thing, such an act to your body, to yourself. And it's perpetuated onto our children through media, through music, through propaganda, through all of the things that they see on a daily basis. Even if you go on Netflix shows, even if you go on, they're trying to call, I grew up on SpongeBob. They're trying to call SpongeBob transgender now. Like, bro, why does everything have to be gay or transgender? That's just too much. Let that community be
Normalized.
that community and everybody else be themselves. Like, nobody has to, we're not pushing anything onto anybody. Why do they have to push everything onto us? There's gay parades all over the fucking time, all over the place. I know I'm not an FBA, but even black people complaining. Like transgender people got a whole month. Black people only got 28 days. They got a whole 30 days to be gay. Like it's just crazy, dude. I don't know. The acceptance and like you said, the normalization of it, which in context means it wasn't normal beforehand. Like it's just it doesn't make any sense. And it needs to be toned down. Whether you're gay or not, that doesn't have to be exposed to everybody. Like it just
Your
do it on your own
sexuality
time.
doesn't fucking matter to me,
It doesn't.
boy.
It
I
doesn't.
don't care about your sexuality. Get your fucking rainbow out of the corporate office is
Yeah.
exactly how I feel.
Especially that's another I'm glad you mentioned the rainbow thing. They're putting rainbow flags on churches. If that's not demonic in itself,
It
I
is.
don't know what is, dude. You're putting rainbow flags on a church.
All
In
right,
the
so
Bible, it says
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
if a man lay with a man, you know what happens after that.
Death to both
Come on.
parties.
Death to
Leviticus
both.
20:13.
Come on, man. But they're plastering their propaganda onto churches. Go ahead, brother. You
Bro.
were saying something.
So, like, on that note, for everybody that's watching and listening, we are not saying to act out against gay people because even in
Absolutely
the
not.
Bible, number one, you're not allowed to commit murder. I understand we were making jokes about rocks, it's just jokes. Also, Jesus himself would say, if you're going to do something like this, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. So, right there, we're not imparting to hurt people, but we are saying that you fuck your ideology. We don't want nothing to do with it because you people are shoving your ideology down our throat, and you and me know exactly who those are. We're not going to go into that today, but it's them boys. Them boys are shoving this ideology down our
Ching.
throat. And it's to the detriment of our growth, and it's to the detriment of our future because they're not shooting us in the year 2025. They're shooting us in the year 2045 and 2050 when those kids grow up and could be contributing members of society. They're already screwed because, like, if you're already changing your gender at, like, in the pre-teenage years or the teenage years, there's no way you're going to be a fully formed adult that's able to function in society and make any kind of relevant decisions in any way whatsoever. You'll be just destroyed from the inside out from that ritualistic bullshit that you were involved in. And to see from your perspective, TC, like, we could talk about it ideologically, but you are actually living it. You're actually dealing with it, and you're actually going through the heartbreak and the detriment of it. And like I said, there's a lot of nobility in that. There's a lot of nobility in the fact that you, of a red pill mentality, not the blue state that you're in, you don't share the same mindset as them, where they will brush it off and they kick the bucket or kick the rock down the road, or kick the bucket down the road to the next person and put the responsibilities that they should be taking on onto other people by default, which is what they're doing, which is destroying our future because they take no personal responsibility for themselves, is a detriment. And people like yourself, it is 2025. You never know when reality or people are looking to seek the knowledge that you have because, it looks like God is only choosing a few people to share the mindset that we have or to have people that will achieve mastery or work or get things done or work 90 hours a week like it's nothing, which is specifically you, right? It might be that, like, you are really seeing that in the early stages of your life that you are approaching such a high prevalent value that you're able to extend to other people, that if we can extrapolate that and put it in a format much like I'm delivering it in the school format or an education-based format, that you'll be able to change so many lives. Like, you're literally able to see and experience and be personable firsthand with the future of America, which just makes you a master by default in that realm. And that's not even just talk about, like, your ability to work in basketball, your ability to go into firefighting. So as we're getting to summarize that part of the conversation, I just wanted to say, like, from my personal point of view, what you're doing in teaching those kids is noble. And, like, from my personal experience, like I said, when I'm dealing with the 20-year-olds and they're so something is missing, like something just is not there. Something's wrong, right? And they're stirring that juice up. They're teaching them, what is that? Common Core math. They took away cursive. They're making them stupid by the second. They're changing their genders. They're imposing Satanism on them. They're putting transgender on them. They're making an alternative lifestyle,
And just
which
the
gives,
expectations in general are just so much lower.
well said, bro. Because, like, that does mean that the bar for success is so low that the barrier to entry to get success is higher than ever before. But at the same time, business is people. And at some point, these people are going to be your people.
Hmm.
So how you gonna do? How you gonna have a society if you can't do it with them? Like, bro, are we gonna have to up and leave America if they're all dumb? Go to some other country, bro? Like,
And I don't
yo,
want to
like,
do that. This is the greatest country ever.
thank you, man. I'm a fucking patriot too, son.
Yeah.
You feel me, baby? Let's go. So I said what I wanted to say about the pronouns. That was definitely something I had to like throw your way. So let's talk a little bit more about my boy TC. You know what I'm saying? You're in the education space and you can master the fuck out of that. You're in the firefighter space and you obviously can master the fuck out of that. And you're also in the personal training basketball space. Now, let me just say a couple of things about the personal training thing. It's very popular. I have a lot of people that I've even talked to today, even that are interested in fitness. That industry is a big deal. I was saying to some of the people, like, dude, right over here, where I'm pointing over here in the city, right over there is where when we went to South Beach, it's right there. You
Yep.
know, if you lived here, you could easily put together a class and charge them like 20 bucks a person, 30 bucks a person. Say, look, for this class on Monday, for your $30 membership per person, I'm gonna have 30 people go out there. What is that? Like 30 times 30, 900 bucks.
Yep.
Like, yo, I want you guys to come out here and I'm gonna teach you like core work today. You know, we're gonna work on your core. We're gonna build up your core. Because the core is gonna make you better at doing chest or you know your limbs and your extremities and your focus and mentality. So you could do training anywhere. You have a gym in Massachusetts, but TC is the guy. He's the coach. Wherever TC goes is where TC flows. You feel me?
Yes,
So
sir.
you could do business out here in fitness. You could obviously scale it to the fucking top of the top with the gym and all the specific niche audience that you have. They go to that gym, the AU people that you were mentioning earlier. And then, of course, early child education, man. I told you that, like, if you started a platform very similar to the platform that you and me are speaking on right now, where you did Zoom calls with kids and you charge maybe the upper echelon of parents that are able to afford you and kids that you want to take on and give them training, and you say, listen, if your kid works with me, he'll be at this education level, but I guarantee you, you'll be giving me a testimonial that whoops ass. Because if he does, 3 to 4 to 5 months with me, this guy's going to be at such a better level that when you put him anywhere academically, he's going to prosper and succeed. And you know what? Maybe I'll sprinkle in a little fitness on there, so that he's operating as a man or woman should be with their full body movements to get their mind working too. It's all one person. It all goes hand in hand. I really truly understand how to put education into your pocket and get you the most money for your value out of that and start you young, bro. Fucking Kaz. Kaz has a beast mentality in that membership mind, bro. He thinks in that way too. It's a very wealth mentality. So scaling an education business and scaling a fitness business is also dope because with fitness, you can offer, like I kept telling you, small, medium, large. You can have a small package that you offer. It could be all online. You can have a medium package where it's like online and Zoom. And then you can have like a large package where it's online, Zoom, and meeting you in real life. You know what I mean? So it's like different tiers. So, maybe, 20 bucks, 50 bucks, 80 bucks, or, 100, 200, 500, like whatever we're going to structure out that makes the best out of what you're selling. How do you look at that? How do you see your future and where does firefighting tie into that for you? Like, give me the full lowdown. You're 26 years old. You're balancing a lot of hats. You're balancing a lot of hours. You've talked to Myron. You're talking to me. Give us what you think about all these skills that you have, my boy.
So I've talked to a bunch of fitness guys. One of them being Angelo. Shout out One Chest APAC Trucker. He's also a Castle Club brother. He mentioned to me that Brandon Carter has a course for fitness, and I've looked into fitness. I even referred my fitness coach. I have a fitness coach myself. I referred him to online training because he's very passionate about his respective profession as well. But he does it in a way that I do it. Like we're just grunt work, labor, just pushing hours. So I told them the way to optimize that, just go online. You already have all the workouts recorded. You already have all of your clientele. Just put it online and you can expand your platform that way. But when I was telling him that shit, I was like, nigga, take your own fucking advice. I can do the same thing with fitness and basketball because the thing is, with basketball, All you need to do is see somebody do the moves, and you can replicate them in your backyard, in your garage, in a at a basketball court, at your local YMCA. So I can either go fitness and basketball with firefighting or whatever the case may be. Right now, though, like we just talked about, once I get my foot in that door of firefighting, I'm dedicating at least a year or two to mastering that shit, learning all of the equipment, learning my area, learning fucking escape plans and all of those type of things, so I can, one, be trusted by my unit and by the just the whole fire unit in general in the city of Springfield, and two, just to have that other level of mastery that can't be, it's just undeniable. Once you have so many things on your resume that people can't poke holes in, you just become that much more just unbeatable. So I want to be as unbeatable as possible. So right now, my main focus is getting my foot in the door of firefighting. That's step one. Step two, I know for a fact with my knowledge that I can monetize basketball training and fitness training both online, because everybody has a cell phone. We're using one right now, and everybody has a tripod or whatever the case may be. All I need to do is just generate or translate the knowledge that I have on my in my mind onto a visual so people can see it, and then they can replicate said visual. But like I said, that'll probably be my plan for the next 2 years. Mastery. I already still train basketball. That's just a natural thing, and I already go to the gym myself. So I have 5, 6, 7 years worth of personal knowledge that I can implement into fitness training, as well as maybe a course from Brandon Carter or even Angelo because he's in the Brotherhood. So I can utilize that knowledge as well. So my goal, like we talked about, because within 5 years, that's when I want to be in Miami. No longer than 5 years from this point in time that I'm talking to Chris on this Zoom call do I want to be in Miami. First 2 years, mastery and firefighting. After those 2 years, I'm going to apply to be a firefighter out in Miami. No guarantee that I'm going to get it because it's a very difficult job to get and hold. Most people keep that type of job because firefighting is an amazing profession to have. There's great benefits. There's just a lot to go with it. It's an amazing job. So I'm gonna work those 2 years, work my ass off, build up my resume, build up my experience in that respective field. After those 2 years, I'm gonna apply out in Miami, because after those 2 years, I'm going to have that money stacked. I'm going to have that upfront financial revenue to invest into a property or into a home out in Miami. So I don't even have to worry about that. Then after I'm applying and doing those things, I'm going to start generating my online plan within the realms of basketball training and fitness. Whether I don't have to delve into either, because I'm a very calculated and scheduled person. I'll have a schedule laid out for when I have to focus on each client, and I'll probably only max out at a certain amount of clients when I'm able to figure out where I'm at. And obviously we'll go up from there, but that's my 5 year plan. Within the next 5 years, that's where I want to be at. On the fifth year of when we're talking, from this point on, I want to be a versed firefighter, and I also want to have two realms of business, at least one or two realms of business, whether that be basketball or fitness or both, online.
There you fucking go, my boy. Bro, you are fire, my boy. You like I literally made a song called Unstoppable, and you really represent that shit, bro.
I appreciate you, bro.
Unstoppable force.
Yes, sir.
I love your like your ambition and your mentality, bro. You got that drive.
Thank you,
So
brother.
it looks like in your heart of hearts, you would probably step away from education and just go full into fitness.
Nope. I said 5 years. I didn't talk about 10 years. Within the next 10 years,
Okay,
because
okay,
there's a
let's go.
you not to follow all the way in Myron's footsteps, but you cannot hold a specific type of job and talk about the things you want to talk about. Them boys, how you really feel, red pill mentality in general, right? I want to have all of that mastery down packed, right? Where I'm at a point where I can step away from it comfortably because I'll have real estate, I have crypto, I have everything I need to do financially. So then I can go back into what I really want to do, which is education. I really feel like
Okay,
I have one
okay,
of those.
okay.
I feel like I have one of those powerful voices where I can reach people in a way where
Yeah.
I'm not disrespectful, but in the same way they know my sense of urgency through the way I'm speaking. And if I'm able to utilize that and platform it onto social media, that's where the reach that you and I were talking about comes in. That's where the networking skills where I can reach out. Yo, let's do a collab and talk about this. Let's do a collab and talk about that, and have a platform to do so, and then get that reach out to everybody because everybody needs this information. My life got saved in terms of red pill because I didn't have the red pill all the way intact. There were pieces and bits that I had, but it wasn't all the way intact until I got introduced to Fresh and Fit, until I got introduced to Brotherhood. I'm not gonna say everybody deserves it, but everybody needs to hear it at least. They have to hear the red pill side to understand both. I was at a point in time where I only heard the blue pill side, so I was ultra liberal. Black Lives Matter. Why is the government holding us down? White people suck. They're racist. None of that shit is fucking true when you look at the real parts of what's going on in America. But I didn't know that until I was introduced to it, and I had to sit down and listen. I feel like I'm that bridge between the gap of the blue pill realm and the red pill realm. I can meet people in the middle, speak to them in a certain way where they're comfortable enough to listen to me, but also in a way where they're unable to understand what the fuck I'm talking about on this side of the internet, which is the red pill realm, which is a very necessary part to understand to live the life that you need to live. Not only as a man, but as a woman too. Most women are not aware of red pill, and that's why they maneuver the way they do because they were one raised by blue pill pussies. Just to be frank, and they believe I'm a princess. I don't need to do anything. I deserve the best man, even though I'm 187 pounds and I'm fat and I'm ugly and I have a bad attitude. I deserve the best man regardless. That's
And I
blue pill
also had like
mentality.
36 boyfriends in year one. And I've been
Exactly.
fucked
And I
six
also
ways to Sunday. And technically that's cheating on the man before the relationship even started. So like, no wonder we don't want you. No wonder you ain't getting married.
Exactly. Exactly. So these are things that young men and young women can learn because I had to have a conversation with a young woman at my job, or yeah, that I work with. She's in high school. She's 18 years old, and she has a boyfriend. I'm like, where does he work? Oh, he does Uber. And I'm just like, is that all he does? Yeah, he also sells drugs. Oh, that's where you fucked up. You're dealing with a drug dealer and you're in high school yourself. And he's 26 years old out of high school. You get what I'm saying? Like these women are just delusional in what they deserve and how they maneuver and just selecting men and screening men in general. Why are you dating a drug dealer in high school?
Because if this was Prince Charming and this was the husband and this was a bad boy, she's attracted to bad boys right now.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not just only for men, which men do fucking need it because we're the leaders of the pack. We need to understand this shit so we can lead the women. But the women need to understand this too so they can weed out the bad men and it'll just be natural selection at that point. They'll select the best men and the men that aren't the best will either weed themselves out or they'll want to be the best. And that'll just up our society in that realm. Because look at China, look at all these other traditional countries and powerhouses around us. They are very traditional in their masculine and feminine roles. We need to get back to that as America so we can be the best country again, which I still think we are, but we're just falling off
Yeah.
because of the femininity.
100%, bro, because it is working. If you notice, like on the internet, there's an increase in influencers that are women that hear us from Red Pill mentality, from Fresh and Fit, and they're emulating trad wife characteristics while not being a trad wife, but they're playing with that in front of us to tug on the strings of what we're actually attracted to while not actually being the thing that we're attracted to. So it
Yeah.
is working. It is happening. Fresh and Fit has made a very large impact, and it really is happening now. So like let me say a couple things, right? You hit me with a gangsta ass answer. You said, bro, that's just my 5-year plan. My 10-year plan comes back to the education. Which, by the way, you're 26 now. 10 years from now, you'll be just a little bit older than me, but relatively a young man. Because men don't become men until they're about age 35, right? So,
Absolutely.
just in that right timeline, if you master the things that we're talking about, you'll so easily be able to transition back into education. It won't even be a thing for you. So I love that you have it thought out like this. This is just like really, really well thought out. So
Appreciate you, brother.
let me throw this out there for you, right? If you do come here after you do your firefighting stuff and you're doing basketball stuff, underneath these roads here is basketball courts, right? So if you were doing content over here, you would get like the most badass vintage 90s style, like cool ass content with the basketball under the bridges and shit. That would look really cool and give you like that real relatable feel, really
Yeah.
relatable vibe. My dog balling it up here in Miami. Dude, like a basketball was extremely popular when I was younger. I don't think it's as popular as it once was because like people used to wear and ones. I used to play this game. Shit, I forgot what it's called. It was called like street ball or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right on point.
Bro, that game was life, son. If you
Yeah.
were good at that, then because of that game, we would play basketball all the time. Then we would talk about dunking. We all had basketball pants. We all had like those string backpacks with like basketball. Basketball was a lifestyle at that time. So even to see that you're like younger than me and you're a badass in that field, I in my walk of life, it feels very rare. Are people in the basketball field like it's still big and all that shit culturally? Like what do you think about the basketball culture right now?
Well, you're kind of a product of your environment, and you are what you see. So I only see basketball because that's the content that I follow. Because I need to kind of be up to par with what's going on to benefit my kids the most. I also, for those of you who don't know, I am also a fucking student of life. Stop being a student. I'm always trying to learn because I need to learn so I can help educate those under me, right? So I'm always learning the game. I'm always trying to find intricate parts, nuances to help implement into my training skills and my training abilities so I can then get my players better in that realm. So yes, basketball is very prevalent in my life, but that's very biased because of who I am and what I do. In general though, basketball, I would say it's one of those things where like we're in a new age. So kids are more interested in virtual things. Yes, kids know about basketball, but they're playing it virtually. They're not playing it outside. They're not doing most of those things. So in general, basketball is not so popular. It's popular to watch. It's popular to play video game wise, but people are not really playing it that much. Unless you're like a really good, or like if you're kind of okay, people are not really pursuing that in that light anymore.
So if somebody does join your fitness training in basketball, right, and they do love it and they're just all about it, what are they going to get out of it? Like, what are they buying? Is it that like they start off with zero skills and then they'll be able to dunk? Like, what is the full TC method or the TC course going to give somebody?
So I'm gonna give my Instagram a little shout out real quick.
Let's go.
I have a basketball page for myself, Coach TC. It's called at Mind Over Matter Mentality. That's where I show all of my content. All of my players are on there. Anybody that I've ever trained is on that. From adults, I've trained pros, I've trained collegiate athletes, I've trained high school guys, I've trained middle schools, I've trained babies, kids that are barely out the womb dribbling the basketball. So I've trained every level, right? But
Yeah.
if you're gonna work with me, typically people, it's kind of like fitness. Do you want to get into fitness to get in shape? Do you want to lose weight? Everybody has their main goals. And if somebody comes to me with a specific goal, like I want to be an NBA player and they fucking suck, I'm gonna tell you, you fucking suck. We can do something else though. We can work on specific parts of your game that can help you get better at your men's league or whatever the case may be. But typically I'm pursued. I'm not the person going out to find people to train. People are coming to me for my services, and they typically already have in their mind what they want to do. Like I said, most of my athletes right now, they're all high school guys aspiring to be collegiate level players. So they all came to me with the goal, TC, I need you to get me ready for college. And they put that trust in me. And like I said, I got 2 guys in last year, and we got 4 or 5 guys right now that are working on to get in this year. And they all trusted me with that process. I've had people come to me with their baby like, yeah, I don't know if he wants to play basketball or football. I don't know what he really likes yet. They just gave me their baby, and I just worked with them, just giving them my genuine, pure attention, intricate parts, intricate details to the game, just letting them know the fundamentals, the foundation of how to be a good basketball player. Most of those kids come back to me. They love it. They have my number. They ask me all the time, Coach, are you available to train my kid? Coach, are you available to do this? I've had pros come to me. We also have a guy that plays overseas in our program. He's been a pro athlete for double digit years for 11 years. He also went to a Division I college called UMass University out in Massachusetts, out where I live. It's probably like 45-minute drive from where I am. But he also put in trust in me. He was just feeling like when you play basketball, it's kind of like life. Like you're going through life, then there's all of a sudden there's a change. Now you have 20-year-olds who are just kids yesterday, and now you're trying to teach them, right? So he's always finding nuances as well. He put the trust in me. He saw the work that I put in with the younger kids. He was like, I just want you to work me out. I don't have anything specific, but I just feel like I'm missing something. And we worked on a bunch of things that I watched. Like I said, I'm a student of the game. So I watch his games, I watch his film, I watch how he plays, so I can implement the way he plays, drills that can benefit him into the drills. Right? I watch his movement style, how he likes to get to the basket, the way he shoots the basketball. I look at all those things to try to either improve things that he's lacking or just heighten the things that he's really good at. So he put that trust in me. What I did was look at his film, stretch through it. Oh, he did this. That's a really good move by him. Oh, he needs to work on that. And that next day, we worked on it for an hour and a half, things that he needed to work on, and we finished off with things that he's strong with. But like I said, there's nothing in particular that I go to a client with a goal in mind. They either come to me or they're funneled to me through word of mouth, whatever the case may be, with a goal that they already have in mind that they think that I can help them with.
I think that's a very good way to answer it, TC, because like the person coming to you has to be goal oriented, and you're already delivering that, and you've already got proven results, right? So, for people listening, it's very much that he is the coach and you need to come to him with a goal that you have in mind in terms of fitness. Let's say that I come in and I got like little teeny tiny 22-inch biceps. I go to TC and I say, hey man, my goal is 32 inches. I want it to be bigger, and you help me get from point A to point B. But I got to come to you goal oriented, and you'll get me there. So, so like I come to you and I say, look, man, my jump shot's off. You fix it. Like things like this, and you just
Absolutely.
get
And
better
we'll
and
work on
better.
that. Absolutely.
I love this, dude. So, let's say somebody comes to you right now. How do they pay you? Like, is it one flat rate fee? Is it like a couple different fees? Like, give me an idea of like how you charge for what you're doing.
So, like I said, you know how I am. You've met me in person. You know my personality in general. Most of my clients are either friends of family, or athletes that I had since young. So they don't pay me much. Sometimes they pay me nothing. I just do it out of the love of the game, right? But if I were to have that business, the amount of detail that I provide, the amount of attention that I provide, depending on the type of session that it is, whether it's a one-on-one or a group session, those prices may vary. But if it's a one-on-one where it's just you and I as a client, depending on whether you're a kid or an adult, it can range anywhere from $40 to $50. If it's a group session, it can range anywhere from $20 to $35.
That's fantastic, bro, because that's why brothers talk, to get to the core of how to improve the brother, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
let me tell you a quick story about Fresh and Fit and a little tool here that I'm going to give you, right? I am hustling. I'm working on my Shopify, and I'm selling products, and I'm charging product-based fees. But then one day I discover like a website that I'm seeing allows me to do memberships. So I'm gonna send that to you right now. It's a website called Sellfy, right? And this is very like affordable. I think it's only like 30 bucks a month. So I'm sending that to you. I actually just had a conversation with Kaz about using this, and he's gonna get started on that ASAP.
I just got the
So
notification now, brother. Thank you.
the point of that is that this is exactly what I did, TC. I immediately made memberships for Matchmaker when I decided, like, yo, I'm gonna bring Matchmaker over to Fresh and Fit, bro. Because
Hmm.
I want them to like have a dating problem that was solved. And as soon as they solved the dating problem, they started bringing in Brotherhood tenfold, and it's been nothing but ever giving ever since. I was actually a major player in that. Talk to Fresh, talk to Myron, they'll tell you, yeah, that's true. So now, what happened is like I came up with this, and this is exactly how it went down. I said, yo, you know what? I'm gonna do that small, medium, large stuff that I've been telling y'all boys. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the largest one. I'm going to charge $60,000 a month just to be a part of the membership. I'm going to put a QR code on my business card. You scan it, it goes straight to that Sellfy store. You pay me that membership, and then I get you connected with girls. And then you see how, like you yourself, you know how to cold approach women. I'm me, Kaz, can't. We all like to cold approach girls. Some dudes don't have that skill, and they'll pay anything to go and find the love of their life, to settle down and start romantically being involved with someone that's a real good candidate. So that's exactly the way I approached it. So I put it on a business card. I printed out like, a bunch of them. I had like, if someone like Wes Watson bought that membership, all of my memberships, it would have been like something like $600,000 I had in my pocket in terms of if every business card converted. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So the point is that I took business digital, and I took my actual street hustle skills and made it real world, right? And that's what I just sent to you. So you, right? You are a coach, and you are a pretty badass mentality coach, and you got to get, paid. And you already have a basketball Instagram, right? So let's say that you make coachtc.sellfy.com, and you charge some small, medium, large prices, right? It's got to be that your time is what you're exchanging. So, like, for an hour a day, 25 bucks, 2 hours a day, 50 bucks, 3 hours a day, 75 bucks. You know, it's like that's a business right there. It's like, you're starting to put like a little bit of, see, like right now, what you have is a core community. Your core community is the free people, the people you've already done the free stuff with. But now what you need is a return on your investment, and you need to start calling them and leveraging your time. And you need to tell them, like, look, I'm now expanding past all of you. You guys can still come and hang out with the boy for free. We're still family, we're still friends and all that. But I'm opening up a business right now, and you're gonna get involved too. And not only are you going to get involved, you're going to love getting involved. We're going to shoot some content together. You're going to make me look good in the content. And we're going to shoot this content out to the new people. You know what I mean? Just like that. So what happens is with this website right here, you'll be immediately able to make a membership and you'll be able to put things inside the membership, right? So it'll give you links and you can charge, let's say for the 75 bucks a month, you can put like a PDF in there with your workouts, a PDF in there with macros, and you can just keep cramming in value and cramming in more value. And you can put YouTube videos in there. You can put any side of digital thing in there. You can put Zoom calls in there. But the point is that we're structuring out TC's fucking value. You get what I'm saying? And the more value that you're able to deliver through something this small, the more that you'll be able to build out a system. So if you can do something like that, and then you come back to me and say, Chris, I've done XYZ and I got XYZ, you could say, Chris, now I need you to teach me how to use Google ads or TikTok ads for this. Because now that I've got this membership, we need to build out a system. And once I have a system mastered, I can bring that system to Biate and put automations on that system so it goes even further faster. So now it's like I've taken my skill set, I've taken my core community, I've taken my networking, I've come back and built a system with my dog Chris. I went over to my dog Biate, and now I'm able to extrapolate the worth of my system because now what's happening is that my coaching is not only that I'm able to do one-on-one Zoom calls, but I can even, like you and me are on a one-on-one Zoom call right now. Let's say that I was charging $750 for this Zoom call. We could have like 40 people on this Zoom call, but they're just listeners, but they're all paying. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So digitally, you're still able to scale, extrapolate the value of what TC has to offer. At the same time, like I said, you could really show yourself streaming in South Beach. You could really record yourself streaming in South Beach. You could record yourself on a basketball court. You could record yourself in a basketball court down there. You could do it at that badass gym that you were telling me all about. But the point is that once you're able to solidify this content, put the membership in your bio, call to action people to your memberships, cultivate value, extrapolate value, sell value, walk them through a system, again, automate your system. You go from TC to fucking Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you're just on another level using these strengths because you've already mastered perfecting giving it out for free. And I'm going to tell you straight up, bro. There is no better hustler than the guy who gives it out for free. There's no better hustler than the guy who gives it out for free because the guy who gives it out for free knows that he's valuable. You just haven't said it to yourself yet.
Yeah.
So when you say it to yourself, you're like, you know what? I'm a salesman now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're looking at a new TC. Guess what? All I do is sell now. The free trial version is over. Those were the golden years for you, but it's the golden age for me. You feel me? I'm in my time to shine now. If you structure out something like this and you offer a small membership, a medium membership, and a large membership, give people options to choose from, but always sell the biggest one first, the most expensive one first, no matter what. And you learn like rebuttals, right? Like you and me will probably play a game of sell me this pen in a second Zoom call. So what I'm going to write this, you and me are going to play sell me this pen, and I'll teach you how sell me this pen works, right?
Of course.
And what you're going to learn is like how to deal with rebuttals when somebody says no, and that happens all the time. A human's natural instinct is to say no. You can't take no as an answer. I'd be fucking nowhere if I was taking no as an answer. You got to be able to flip that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're delving into human psychology. And if you're able to learn human behavior, which is what business is people have money. But when you're able to extrapolate human behavior and help them understand that what you're offering gets them the best version of them, they'll throw money at you. And they won't give a fuck about the price as long as they understand that the problem that you're solving for them is really solving something that they need. In the fitness industry, people come to you and they say, I am fat. And I don't know how to count this. You can solve that problem. And I don't want to count my macros, but you can save me the time. I have a problem. I need time saved. Boom, I send you the money. It's just that simple. That's how it goes. Problem, time saved, money done. That's how it works. Basketball, bro. You're already getting word of mouth. That means you're a big deal. It means that you've got a buzz. And you can use this buzz to be a businessman. And at the end of the day, when you're perceived as a businessman, it only adds to your strength. You know, like people will see you in a new light. People will treat you with a different professionalism. And that professionalism is something that you deserve at this point in your growth, or you will earn in your point at this point in your growth, because the more that you're able to convey this professionalism and say, look, man, meet up with me at Monday, get the membership. I'm gonna make you number one. Make sure you have the membership. I'm gonna make sure you're number one. I'm gonna get you to listen. Actually, let me ask you this real quick. When you talk to these people and you consult them for the first time, and they're goal oriented, and they have to be goal oriented to mess with you, to talk to you, do you help their mindset? Is that part of the coaching? Like, do they come to you with a corrupted mindset, and you often have to fix their mindset to get them to be goal oriented?
That's extensive, but I don't, like I said, I'm very personable with anybody that I work with in any realm. So prior to the workout, I ask them what they want to work on, how they want me to get them there. Do you need it quick? Do you need to get there steadily? What are your goals? And then we work out. Prior to the workout, that's when I give them. That's when I become TC. I'm not a trainer anymore. I'm not professional. I'm TC. Thank you for choosing me to be your trainer. I'm glad that you worked with me. And then I just break down to them, yo, I seen this in your game. We're gonna need to work on this in this amount of time. And I just break down, I just get personal with them. I talk to them about their life. Like, are you doing this at home? Is there a space that you can do this? Take this skill that I just taught you and bring it home. Do you eat right? Are you drinking enough water? That's when I get personal. Like, that's when I start to kind of confront them about their lifestyle, and see, not all the way, obviously, but I try to confront them to see if they're really in it for real, or do they just want to be in basketball because it's cool. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, basketball is a cool ass sport, and people just want to be in it because it's cool. But I can tell their mindset by when I ask them these type of questions that are kind of picking out their lifestyle, if they're really in it because they want to be better, or if they're in it because they want to be just cool and want to have Instagram pictures to post.
Because like here in Miami, there's some basketball players, man, and they be surrounded by women. So like, if you was out here and you was training these dudes to become basketball players over for the Miami Heat, and they just want to do it to be cool and have like a dating profile, it will work. There's
Yeah,
literally women that line up to go chill out with them boys. You
yeah,
feel
yeah,
me?
yeah.
It
Hey, that's
works
what I'm
over
saying. Like,
here.
basketball is one of those things. Like, so I never took basketball as that. There's things that come with certain things in life. Some are good, some are bad. Basketball, all of that shit is cool. You get girls, you get attention, you get instant gratification, you get all of that type of shit. I was never in it for that because that's not why I played basketball. I played basketball because I was like, oh, this is actually something that I care about. I love this shit. I want to get better at it. So I carried that passion, and like I said, everything else came with it, but that wasn't my focus. I'm able to nitpick and point out who's actually aligned with my mindset and who was just in it for the other things that came along with it. And that's where I think I specialize in it, because I train a little different when I know you're in it for that type of stuff. Because then I can teach you, oh, the cool shit. But then if you're in it because you want to be great, I teach you the things that are going to be timeless. I teach you moves and skill sets that you can literally apply to your children. They can apply to their children, vice and down the line. So I kind of, like I said, I figure out what lane you're in, and then I train you I train you accordingly.
I love that you're able to do that because you're able to like give them a mental evaluation to, I guess, to yourself, right? And you're able to put them in certain lanes. It will allow you to train people to the best of your ability. So it'll give you like a space to put them in. It might be like if you're really here for the flashiness of it, you might really just want to sign up for the mid tier. Like you might be a mid tier person, and if you're a child, maybe younger, you'll be in the lower tier. And if you're going all the way, you're part of a rare group, and I'm going to give you my most personalized attention and time. So
Hmm.
because I'm giving you my most personalized attention and time, you're going to be in my higher end tier, and I'm going to lead y'all boys to greatness because I see greatness in you, and that's just the bottom line. You feel
Pretty
me? So
much.
like that might be how you end up organizing it. So that brings us to talking about things like offer language and really packing in value, right? So I sent you a website, and I really think you get like a 7 day free trial and then like $30 a month or something like that. So it's really not that expensive. And it like I said, if you build that out and you're able to bring that to me and scale it, and then you're able to switch that all your users onto a website when you're ready, because you've now got excess capital, and you can put that into like something with like me and Biotech. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason that you can't get started immediately. So what happens is that we start creating offer language, right?
Hmm.
Now, I'll give you an example of offer language right now. Let's say like you was at the gym all day and you're starving. And even though you probably wouldn't eat a burger, I'm going to use a burger for this example, you're starving. There's no other food. Hey, bro, for $5 you get a burger, but for $5 you could also get this delicious burger with cheese. It's going to be a cheeseburger with fries and a shake. Both $5. Which one do you want?
Obviously, one with the fries and the shake.
Because it's more value, right?
Yeah.
It's the same price, but you're getting more in the offer, right? So
That,
you can paint offers all day and night. And I'll give you an example. One of the people that are in the membership here, I was just talking to her in the Skool platform about like how to create offer language, and she was using ChatGPT for her Turo business. And she only filled out the description of her Turo listing, but very mechanically, and it came off like a CarMax post, right? It was like saying, like, hey, look, this car has 4-wheel drive and it's all-wheel drive and blah blah blah, like a bunch of stats about the car. And then I said to her, well, when you're selling the car, who is your primary audience? Is it going to be like some 18-year-old kid who's coming from America as a stowaway? Or is it like a 40 to 50-year-old man who has a family and a traditional job and he's out here for a vacation? She said, it's that one, the one for a vacation. So I said, okay, look. That's fantastic. If you're going to give offer language, the first couple of words should be like guaranteed vacation vehicle or like best vacation vehicle or going to give you the best experience in the vacationing out there in the islands. Prime time, going to be amazing for the family. So like vacation, family, and then you start listing out the features. Amazing air conditioning, surround sound system, stuff like that, right? But the point is that you're selling it to vacation and travel. So like with you, if we're making offer language for the basketball thing, the offer language has to be like the best of the mentality that you were just offering, right? You really could say for the player that's looking to be in the Hall of Fame, or for a player that's really in it for the love of the game, or you could even say, listen, man, you and me both know that the sports industry is super corrupted, super choreographed, super full of shit, super full of money. And it's time that we bring back the love of the game for the love of the game. And if you
yeah.
really want to be in this for the love of the game and you really want to play this for the authenticity that I have to give you, I'm going to be your coach. I'm going to make sure not only are you number one, not only are you going to have the best of the most authentic experience, but if you follow these principles, you will be one of the greatest who ever picked up the ball. And if you can create that kind of offer language, TC, and put that in a click, $75, yes, I want that. Thank you. That's where you're going to be experiencing success. And that's naturally who you are. We just got to get the ball rolling on it. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's the kind of conversation, the kind of language you would put into a ChatGPT. That's the kind of language you would be explaining in your Instagram posts, in the captions, like, here's the offer, here's what my caption's saying, here's what the video's saying. It's all funneling this one way. And that is what you're selling. You don't, even though you have a mid tier and a smaller tier, they can read the offer language of the mid tier and they can read the offer language of the smaller tier. But all day and night, you're selling the authenticity of basketball. You feel me?
Absolutely. Very, very. I understand that completely. And like you said, it's just a point with me where I wasn't understanding my value, but I've put in minimum 5 years in each of the fields that I've spoken to you about. So the value is there. I just need to put it into play, to get that snowball effect rolling, just like how you're putting it out right now.
100%, bro. Let me tell you something. When I was in college, man, this must have been in like 2014. I'm surrounded by so many blue pill people, and I am born red pill to the core. And everything that I'm saying it, and the people hate what I say, and it becomes weary, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I also was in a place where I could not see my value because I'm literally around people that reinforce that I am not valuable to them at all. They don't fuck with me. They don't fucking like me. They don't want to be near me because of my mentality. They don't like the light. They don't like the hustle, because if you hustle and you're so forth of going to put out this figure into the world and be a fucking G about it, that means that they should do it too. But they look at you from a place of hate and say, if he's going to do that, I feel so convicted that I should do that I'm just gonna opt out and say I don't fucking like him.
Yeah.
And they reaffirm it psychologically, and you feel it out in the real world. That's real. That's all tangible shit. You're around the devils, my boy, and it fucking sucks. But as long as you're in the game, you're gonna have to do what you've been doing. Hustle, be authentic, be true to yourself. They won't even see your come up. I think they call it now a glow up, right? Like in the younger generation, right? They won't be able to see your light as you're growing because they don't understand that he has a 10-year plan and then it's gonna happen. This is all notes I wrote on you. They don't understand your 10-year plan. They don't know that you've already pre-engineered success into your legacy right now. And ladies, if you don't get with this man right now, you're fucking up. Just like I said with my boy Cass, if you don't get with him now, you fucking up. Because my man is on a path to success.
There's already
a bunch he's on a path to success. Fuck you, bitches.
Facts.
You feel me?
Yeah, man.
So, let's talk about this a little bit, right? Let's say that you do go through and you do decide, you know what? Why not? I can knock out this store. I can make it in like 24 hours. I'll just knock out some computer work. I get it up and running, put up the links, throw it out there, run it by the boys, see what they think, run it in the Skool platform, see what they think, talk about it in the Skool platform, see what they think. Let's say that you were going to start charging a small, medium, and large price. Let's talk about what do you think your largest price would be?
Well, that would depend because what you're talking about, I would probably go the route that I was talking about in terms of content. Like I would put together videos and just a bunch of clips to show them the skills that I'm talking about. So there would be two sources of revenue, two types of signups. There would be the virtual signup for people that are just across the nation. You could be wherever and watch the video and literally replicate it at your home. And then there would be the in-person signup. Those would probably be a little more difficult, I would say, because of the situation that we're talking about at my gym, the scheduling and timing. I would have to niche out my time, my space when I'm able to utilize the basketball court and then get those members to be like, all right, we're here. Also, another thing, I would have to have a 2-section type of sign up. One for individualized training, whether that be big package, medium package, small package, and group training, big package, medium package, small package. So that's like, there's kind of like 3 different things that I would have to situate before I even do that. But I have the
sounds
idea.
Like 6 different things.
Well, yeah, there's a bunch. But
Yeah.
yes, the media would probably be the easiest. Well, it's not the easiest, but I have a bunch of cameramen out here that comes with networking. I grew up with one. Well, actually, when I was coming up, he was my cameraman when I was playing basketball. So I would have that already sourced. I would just need somebody to put the website and all that type of stuff together, Biate. And then for the in-person stuff, that's all me. I do that on a daily basis anyway, so I don't need to work. I don't need help with that one.
All right, so I'm gonna break this up into 6 groups. I'm gonna go small, medium, large, one-on-one, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
And then small, medium, large, one versus the groups.
Yep.
One group, one versus, let's say, groups. Okay.
The group could be anywhere from 5 to 15 or 5 to 15 people, 5 to 20 people.
5 to 20 people. Okay, 5 to 20. I wrote 30, so that's good. Okay, so we're making a vision board right now.
Okay.
There's no lack in this vision board. You have it all, right? You have it all. You have everything that you need. We think abundantly. So let's start with your largest 1 versus 1 package. How much does that cost?
One-on-one with me for an hour, I'd start it off at 50.
550, 550?
No, just $50. You're talking about in person, like at my gym.
Okay.
Yeah, $50.
All right. How much for the medium?
We'll say 35.
35. And this is monthly, by the way. So it's $35.
Oh, monthly? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let's run that back again. So we'll do. All right, so big package we'll do 200.
Okay.
Medium package we'll do 140.
140.
And small package would be 100.
100. Okay. See, now we got a business going.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this is also monthly. TC with the 5 to 20 people. And so if you're buying this package, It's in addition to what TC does in group training. So if I'm going to buy the largest package of group training, how much does that cost?
Largest package of group training.
Is it more or less because it's in a group?
It would be less because it's in a group, so you're getting less attention. So I would probably say about four. I would say 40. So 40 times four. Yeah. Yeah. We'll do 160 for the big group. Then medium group would be 30. 120. Yeah, so 140 for the big group, 120 for the medium group, and then 80 for the small group.
All right. Okay. So that's a full-blown business plan right there. So we got 6 different options, and they seem like really good options. And I'm already looking at the numbers, and it really shows that if I want specialized training with you, your time matters more. You've got like one-on-one training. It's going to cost you a little bit more money, but you're going to get better at the game. And because you get better at the game, and because you've already got all these people coming, they can really, really test out their actual skills that they really learned from you. So that's really fucking cool in and of itself, man.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So, let's talk about, again, this is TC's life in 1 month, right? With the large package for the one-on-one, how many people can purchase that?
So let's say I cancel out my second job, which is where I work the private, like that's the bulk of the hours that I work, which is 50 hours. So we're going to cancel out the 50 hours a week. I work from 7:30 to 3:30. So I'll have 3:30 all the way up until 10 o'clock at night. So we have about 6.5 hours per day, 5 days a week. I'd say about 10 people could sign up for that max per
10
month.
people could, so you have 10 spots for the large package one-on-one.
Yes, sir.
10 spots. Okay, so right there, if you did fill up the 10 spots, which you will, that's what, $2,000 a month right there. Really nice. The thing that's cool about this TC is when you're selling and you're putting it online, you literally say, look, I filled up 5 spots, only got 5 spots left. I filled up 8 spots, only got 2 spots left.
Yeah.
Get it now, get it while it's hot. This is
Yeah.
called scarcity. So your offer language has to be on steroids and your scarcity has to be fierce. You know what I'm saying? You're hitting them, hitting them, hit offer language scarcity, offer language scarcity. Now it's like, yo, why wouldn't I get the one-on-one time with my dog? Everyone's gonna see you hustling like this and be like, TC is that motherfucking boy. He is that motherfucking legend. He went from TC, the guy that's giving out the game for free, just like that. He's a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
Girl's gonna be like, damn, bro, I really see the change. I fucked up. You know what I'm saying, bro? It happens. It is like that.
Yeah.
So let's say the large package for 15 to 20 people at a rate of $140 a month. How many people can sign up for that spot within the month?
A large group.
How many people could book you that month for that?
I'd say because they're not always going to show up. That's another thing that I learned about basketball. Even if they pay for the month, sometimes life just happens, especially with kids and their parents. So I'd say 15 to 20 people. So up to 20 people can sign up for the big group, but minimum 15 people can sign up.
So there's only 20 spots for the whole month.
Yeah, no, so that there would be a group of 20 up to 20 for that month that I can work out. So whether the 20, so that's all right. So how can I explain this? So say you have a restaurant, right? It doesn't matter how many or what clients you have coming in, but you only have 20 seats available per night. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter who comes, but up to 20 people can come per night.
Okay. Okay. So up to 20 people come a night. So like, is it like if you're training Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday,
Yep.
Friday throughout the month, and 20 people show up Monday, you're expecting the same 20 people show up Wednesday, the same 20 people show up Friday, or is it different 20, different 20, different 20?
It shuffles, it can change. There's going to be a consistent, probably like 5 to 6 people, but that other 14 people can definitely switch up. That's what I'm saying. So that's where the monthly signups for the group sessions gets a little tricky because some people show up for the month consistently. Some people show up and then there's like spots missing. So you'll have them pay for the month, but that slot's open. So somebody else could have took the spot. That's when it gets a little dicey. But that comes with the marketing that we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, because like it still gives you room to advertise that spot. You know what I mean? Because there's technically a rotation. You could probably take on, instead of just 15 to 20, you probably could take on like 25 some months if you could just get like an idea of what that is going to look like based on who you see, who you can visually look at and be like, yeah, I know that motherfucker ain't coming next week. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like you hustle harder. So that's really good because I'm just gonna take it at 25 and say 25 times 140. Let me do the math on that real quick. Put my calculator here. Where is my calculator? Here it is. All right, so $25 a month, or 25 people times 140 a month. That's $3,500. So if you fill up both of these, right? If you fill up the 10 slots with the $2,000 a month, and then you fill up the group slots, these are the large packages, with $3,500 a month, you're already coming in at $5,500 a month off your natural skill set that comes to the least amount of your effort. You know what I mean? And what I mean by the least amount of your effort is like you're not teaching calculus, which I don't know if you do calculus, but like it would probably take a little bit more work for you to do than it does right now. But at the least of your abilities, and by the least of your abilities, I mean like if it was 4 in the morning and I woke you up with like a cold bucket of water and I threw a basketball in your hands and I said, TC, dribble this shit. You could dribble that shit like a beast,
Yeah.
even though you're fucking cold, because that's just naturally who you are. So
Mhm.
at the very least of your ability, you're already worth $5,500 a month. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say what that is a year. 5,500 times 12. That's already $66,000 a month. I mean, a year. And we didn't even talk about filling out the other packages, right? But we are going to talk about filling out the other packages because you can fill up all the memberships. And trust me, with advertising, it's a little bit easier than you think sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only 10 slots available for the large package, 20 slots available for the large package with group training. How many people can sign up for the medium package?
Probably about the same. So that would be like the large package would be very detailed, not as detailed as a one-on-one, but it would be very detailed. The medium package would be a little more general in terms of like how to play basketball. And then the very least, the smallest package would be like probably babies, like kids who are just learning.
So 10, 10, 10. Is that what you think? It would be 10, 10, 10, 20, 20, 20? Or like do you have any flexibility in there?
So with the smaller group, with the small group, I would probably go smaller because it's a little more tedious to teach a bigger group of younger kids because we just talked about their attention spans and how they're not all the way there. So I would probably max that group out at like 10.
Okay.
And then the medium group would be still 15 to 20 because those are people that are intermediate, like they're newer to basketball, but they're able to play it and they like have some type of knowledge. So I'll be able to teach it.
Okay, so it'll be 10 kids in the small package, to 15 to 20 again in the medium package, still 20 in the large package. For that's group. Now 10
Actually,
people.
I lied. I'm gonna reduce the large group to I'm gonna say 12. We're gonna say
12.
12 for the large, for the medium, 15 to 20, and for the small group, probably about 10.
All right, so 12, 20. Okay. So
Because now
now,
I'm thinking like an entrepreneur because I'm pretty sure you could attest to this too. The scarcity, like you just said, and the exclusivity of that large group being so small, people are gonna want to sign up for the next month. So it'll already be maxed out every time I try to open up a slot. And also,
yes.
like I said, that'll be the most intense and attention driven group that I can provide for.
And that'll allow you to open up more doors, more gateways, potentially more upsells that is beneficial to everybody. So it's good that you're thinking like that. Okay, so now one-on-one large group, 10 people, one-on-one medium group, how many people?
Medium group, 10 to 15.
Medium
Or
package.
medium package.
Yeah, one-on-one training for the medium package.
That would
That
be,
is
yes.
$140. How many people can sign up for that?
Per month, that would be 10. So all the one-on-ones would be like, I would say 10. So 30 people, 10,
Okay.
10, 10 for each group, for the one-on-ones. And then the bigger groups, that's when that varies. That's so okay, let's go over it. So one-on-ones for every variety of group, big, medium, small.
That
10
can
to
only
10.
that maxes out at 10 per group.
Okay, okay, okay.
And then for the group session, so for the big group or I will say large group, that'll be the advanced group. That'll max out at 10 to 12. We're gonna say 12 for now, but 10 to 12. For the
So that's
medium
good.
group, yes. For the medium group, that'll be 15 to 20 people because that'll be more people. I can teach them things, but they'll be able to kind of communicate with each other. Oh, I learned this from whatever. Like that'll be more of a bigger group because I'll be able to teach at a rate that I'm able to teach at, but as well, they'll be able to communicate with each other. And then for the small group, this will probably be for kids like not toddlers, but like probably like 7 to 11-year-olds. That'll be like 10 people, 10 kids max because their attention span is a little smaller. I'm gonna have to give them that attention, but still, not we can't give too many kids that slot because it'll just be chaos at that point.
100%, my boy. Like, have you taken note of how I've been pretty strategic at signing people up into the Skool platform? Have you kind of seen what I've been doing to do that?
Yes, you're a very good marketer first and foremost. But yes, I do. I do see that.
So the reason I bring that up is pretty much that's if you're studying that, that's the exact methods you need to do to bring people into your store. Like you need to like sign them up, bring them in, sign them up, bring them in. You know, all your free people were free, but right now you're focusing on a whole different path. You feel me?
For sure.
So let's say, $80 for the 10 people in the small group. That's probably going to be the kids. So
Mhm.
probably 10 kids maximum at a rate of $80 a month. You're still looking at $800 a month for that. That's fucking dope. The other one is $1,000 a month. The other one is $1,400 a month. So I'm maxing it out, right? I'm maxing out the potential of this. So like I'm using the highest numbers that you've given me, right? So right now I'm on the medium group of $120 a month at a maximum total of 20 people. And that would equal $2,400 a month if that was maxed out. And that is actually your most profitable group there, that medium one. Let's see here, 12 times 140. 12 times 140 equals 1,680. So now, if I add up all the numbers, right? The 1,000, 1,400, 2,800, 2,400, 1,680. I'm going to add all these up and see if you max everything out, what you'd be making monthly off the least of your skill set with like, I'm sure you could easily get this amount of people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because it's just like seems like something you've been doing for quite some time and you're kind of gifted in that skill set. Sounds like you mastered that area. How long you been coaching basketball?
Uh, Coaching for like 4 to 5 years, but like I said, I've been around it all my life, so it's just second nature at this point.
You'd be making $9,280 a month if it was all maxed out with the most amount of people. So, that when you start, if you put a little bit of an upsell on this and it was $10,000 a month, you're already looking at $120,000 a year.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So again, at the least of your skill set, you're already in the six figures. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And this is just real life people. We didn't extrapolate this into possible Zoom coaching. We didn't extrapolate this into courses. We didn't extrapolate this into the masses. You're building a real world business right now. This is almost like akin to, if you were a child, a lemonade stand.
Yeah.
I go, I get the cups, I build the lemonade stand. This is your lemonade stand, but for the real people, right? So this is all the numbers that I was just working out here. And $9,280 a month is what you're looking at with this business. And this is just the vision board. This is the rough draft. We haven't had any like ideas that we put on top of it yet. You know what I mean? But I sent you that Sellfy website and of course the Calendly website because you can put Calendly on your LinkedIn, I mean not Instagram.
Yeah.
You can put Sellfy on your Instagram. You could say, book me for this time. I will then send you this or go and buy the membership. And everything could really just be going towards your membership, going towards your membership. And if you're going to dominate this field, you're going to have no problem putting these practices into dominating the education space.
Hmm.
Because in the education space, just like Hustlers University, there's no limits on what you can extrapolate it to. You feel
Yeah.
me? There is no limits. Like once you've really honed in and got the juice on a system. See, this is why I'm glad I'm talking to you in this capacity, because you know you're not like getting some online video. You're not about bullshit. This conversation that we have is pure sauce. It's all sauce. It's like you can't replicate this because this is
No.
TC.
Yeah.
And because it's unique to TC and because he has this passion, you're capitalizing on something special and unique. And this is what echoes into the times, bro. This is what like goes throughout the word of mouth. This is what goes down in history when a bro like really puts his sauce into his craft. You know what I mean? That is going to be a differentiator between you and every single coach, because you're going to be the kind of coach that says like, this is for real. This is for the love of the game. This ain't that bullshit that you see on TV. I don't even watch sports because I know it's just straight up bullshit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And it's if you look into it, it's owned by them boys. You know, we don't got to go into all that, but it really truly is owned by them
Cha-ching.
boys. So you can't really do much about that shit. Now, let me ask you this: Did you kind of have this in your head that you have this net worth, or did I lay this out for you for the first time? You think in numbers like this? Where's your head at terms of your natural worth for giving out your skill set?
So I kind of experimented with it about a year or two ago, but that was when I started to work as hard as I did, so I couldn't fully delve into it. And I'm gonna say this, like you said earlier, I didn't validate myself with the value that I have. I didn't understand it, but now I do, to a point where it's like, all right, now I gotta start monetizing off of it, because there's just too much at this point. So when I did it at first, I kind of felt, you know how it is, like you're taking somebody's money, but you're not. Yeah, I wasn't thinking as a businessman. I was thinking as a person to person basis. But at the same time, I'm exchanging my value and they're exchanging theirs. I didn't look at it like that. I look at it as I was taking their money. But
Right.
like I said, I'm at a point where I'm so honed in on my craft where I know that the person that's coming to me is going to get the result that they're looking for at that. So therefore, it's justified the business that we're going through, which is the me taking their money for them taking my value.
I want to talk to you about that for a little bit because I've experienced the same things, my boy, and I'm going to give you the full breakdown of what that is. Respectively, as an American, that is propaganda. It's 100% propaganda for you to even come to the conclusion of the fact that it literally means that you have been beaten down so much that you never got a chance to see how you're worth.
Mm-hmm.
It's an external thing. It's not, it's like the child does not learn that he's worthless until he is told that he is worthless. And for the caliber of person that you are, it must be that your environment has been beating you the fuck down to the point of worthlessness.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that you look in the mirror and feel worthless. I'm saying that you just have money is a discipline and sales is a discipline and basketball is a discipline. And where you are, you knew how to get better at basketball. But wherever you are, definitely reinforced you to not get being sales your value.
Yeah.
It reinforced not to get. So it's almost like inverting your natural skills. Like, let me give you an example. Like I said on the Zoom call, right? When God introduced richness, he introduced it through a man named Abram, whose name was then Abraham. And he didn't say Abraham was a rich man. He said Abraham was a very rich man.
Yeah.
And that's abundance. And to have the abundance beaten out of you, that's the blue pill, bro. That is people around you that are just pushing you down until you adopt a mentality that is foreign to your mind. Because this is not of God, this is of the devil, my boy. It's so foreign to your mind that you say, it just kind of feels like I'm taking their money, and I do have good intentions, and I wasn't really feeling it like that, because everything inside the mind is disconnected, really.
Yeah.
And my boy, it's heartbreaking to see that a fellow brother went through something like that, but that is what it is. It's propaganda. I want you to know that what you were experiencing was completely unnatural, but the conversation that we're having is completely healthy and completely where you're supposed to be. And you have a lot of natural value in just this sports alone. You know, we're not even talking about the education thing. You probably make a lot more money in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
the basketball and the fitness thing is where you're at. And then if you do like look, I mean, if you're making $10,000 a month and you take $10,000 of extra cash and you buy the branding quarter course and you combine branding quarter course with this course, it's going to be
Yeah.
You're gonna be fucking rich, bro. What you
Yeah.
gonna do with all this richness?
Yeah. I'm gonna come to Miami with Chris and we're gonna expand this network and shit. Word.
Yes, sir, bro. I see how you talk to the women, bro. There ain't gonna be nothing left when we
Nothing.
out there.
Nothing.
And
We're
you
taking
decide to
over
put these
everything.
ladies on a boat.
We're taking over everything, bro. That's how I'm coming.
Yes, sir, ladies. He's gonna treat you to a good time. Trust me, I know. So, like, you know, let's talk about sales a little bit, right?
Yes.
Sales is an exchange of value, and sales is customer service. And your good-hearted nature and your ability to express so much care naturally makes you the best of the best of the best of the best salesman. Because a salesman isn't like a scammer. A salesman isn't somebody who only is interested in your money. The salesman is the broker between the exchange of value. This person needs the value. This person has the value, but the salesman is the guy in between brokering the deal. And because you're so good at being personable and you're so resourceful, you are a natural salesman and you're not going to be the best salesman overnight. But guess what? You already have a rich mentality because you keep telling me you're a student of the game. So you don't mind doing it a little bit and then looking at it, analyzing it, and self-improving it the next time and getting just a little bit better the next time and getting just a little bit better and even a little bit more better the next time and even a little bit more. Because this type of mentality is what the greatest of the fucking greatest beast salesman legends are, bro. You got to just wear it with your chest and you got to be authentic, just as if you were to approach somebody you were dating. You got to say, my man, look, Mark, nice to meet you. I'm a coach. My name is Coach TC. And what I do is offer the best training. I can turn you into the most authentic player in the game. I can give you specialized focus. I guarantee you that your jump shot is number one. I offer a class with one-on-one sessions. It's $200 a month. You're going to get the most absolute specialized focus for less than the price of a car payment, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Something along these lines. And because you're going to specialize and tune in and you're going to hone in on what you're selling, by the time you and me play Sell Me This Pen next time, we'll be able to exchange what that's like. In fact, we could go ahead and play a little game of that right now. Fuck it. Let's go for it, right?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's do it like this. I'm going to sell you the pen. Walk into the store.
Ding, ding.
Hello. Welcome into the store. My name is Chris. Thank you for coming in to Pen Specialties. What brings you in today? Are you looking for a pen?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if I really need a pen though, but it would be cool to have one, I guess. So maybe.
Fantastic. When you are using a pen, is it that you usually use it for drawing or business? Well, how do you normally do it? Is it a lot of drawing or is it like a lot of uh, using it for work?
Well, I'm in education and I always lose my special pen, so maybe I would use it for work, possibly.
Use it for work? Okay, so when you're using it for work, do you use it to write down a lot of your calendar work or is it that you're signing a lot of paychecks?
It's typically to track data on the students that I deal with on a daily basis.
Okay, so you're tracking a lot of data with your students. And when you're doing this, is it more that you do it with your students for business or more that you do it with your students for personal?
Well, not for personal. It's to make sure that I have the data so that their clinicians can develop it and then pass it on to their next situation, whether that be a school, a program that they need to go to, or whatever the case may be.
Fantastic. And when you're collecting this data, do you prefer your pens to be more comfortable in the grip or you don't care if it's straight?
Oh, it needs to be super comfortable. I'm writing so much throughout the day, my hand starts to cramp.
How many hours in a day would you say that you're writing?
I'm writing for at least 2 hours.
2 hours a day. Well, I'll have you know that we actually have grips on your pens that'll last up to 8 hours without you feeling a thing. They're the lightest to the touch. And if you actually act today, we have a 50% discount on 10 pens or more. And that's only happening today. So I think you'll actually like taking part in that. Let me ask you another question. Do you prefer blue pens or brown pens?
Oh, actually, they have to be black in terms of legality. You have to have them black on the paper.
So we have them black in wooden. Do you prefer wooden or plastic?
I think I'd take plastic.
Plastic, fantastic. Okay, so I'll have the plastic up here in a moment. Now, what I'd like to ask you is when you're going ahead and you're comfortably writing throughout the day with your plastic pens, do you find yourself ever going into an artistic area? Is it really just you're focused on your students right now?
Well, we can't really doodle on the paperwork. As I said, it's legal paperwork, and we're not able to make certain markings on it. So it's typically just to write down information about the students.
Fantastic, my guy. So we have a couple cool things going on here. If you'd like to, we can actually insure your pens. So if any of them break, you can come back here for absolutely free to exchange them. And while I'm ringing that up for you, do you like pocket protectors or accessories to go with your pen?
Possibly something that'll be like a lanyard or something, because I'm always losing my pens, you know? I'm always running after the kids. I might put it down somewhere that I shouldn't, and I'm always losing them. So something that can help me maintain or retain a pen.
Fantastic. We're going to go ahead and put the lanyards with your pens right here. And the total for the 10 pens at a 50% discount comes up to $4.99 today. And like I said, if they break, please come back and I'll take care of you. But right before I let you go here, let me go ahead and get you set up with the pen. If you don't mind, go ahead and put your hand on the pen, and I want you to start like conforming to it. You see how comfortable it is? Go ahead and write with the pen and try it out real quick. And let you see, you see how smooth it is on the paper there. You shouldn't have any issues. But my name has been Chris. Here's my card. Here's my contact information. If you have any problems, please come back to me, and I'll be able to take you from. I'll be able to take care of you for your entire journey at Pens Plus. Whatever you need, we've got you. And my guy TC, I would love to see you again.
Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate your service.
Appreciate that, brother man. Okay, so thanks for playing the game. The very first point of the game, the very first question I asked you is, are you even in the market for the fucking pen? Like, are you even here for a pen? You walked into the store. Did you really walk into the store for the pen? Or did you walk in here because you wanted to use the bathroom, or were you looking for another store? You know what I mean? Identifying the whole purpose of the game is to see if the customer is even in the frame for buying the pen. So it doesn't even matter what you're selling. It's like, are they looking for it? Are they in the market for it? Same with coaching. Are you in the market for coaching? And that's something you identified well, right? Now,
Yeah.
the logic that I walked you through is on every corporate platform, the same thing. It's like, first of all, ask the customer why they're there, introduce yourself, be personable, identify pain points. What is it that they've needed? Like, what are they using the pen for? What, like, that's why I asked, like, what are you using it for drawing? Are you using it for this? You're the reason that you ask so many questions is to help the customer get all of their points across. And because you've got all the points across, you know how to guide them to the best solution. And that's how it works in every business. It doesn't matter if you go to buy a cell phone, it doesn't matter if you go to buy a sandwich, it doesn't matter if you go to buy a house. It's all like, who is this person? What is this person looking for? What does this person need? And even at the end, when I was putting the pen in your hand, there's a psychology to that too. Putting it in your hand is called personal setup. And I'm setting you up with the pen so there's no confusions about the pen. So if you walk out the door and there's any problems with the pen, you don't come back to me in the same day for a problem. You know what I mean? You come back to me, you come back maybe like for another time for a whole different purchase. You know what I mean? But it's like we set him up then and there. So the dude has no issues. He's fully taken care of. He's fully happy customer and he comes all the way back. Also, at some point in there, I probably asked you if you wanted insurance on the pen, right? That's also like a corporate thing. It's like, there's a systematic format for all of these things. It's corporate procedure. And these are the things that you'll be getting better at, TC, and you'll be getting better at it every single time with every single person you talk to, with every single experience. To position yourself as a salesman without formal salesman training, which I would recommend taking a job as a salesman or talking to me for a while, what you're doing is the best salesman. What I mean by the best is the salesman that makes the most money knows how to ask the best questions.
I agree. You know, it's funny, Chris.
Tell me.
I actually do have experience in sales. That my first job was selling sneakers.
Give it to me, bro. Tell me
Yeah,
everything about it. Let's go.
yeah. I worked there for 2 years. I was actually A hybrid. I worked doing sales and stocks. So in the morning time, I would bring in the packaging, bring in the shipment. So I knew most of what we had for the day. So I would just go out onto the sales floor. If a customer approached me saying they needed a certain sneaker, I would say if we had it or not. And if we didn't have it, I would direct them into what we did have because I knew in the back of my mind, I just unpackaged everything. So I'd be able to direct them in what we did have and if it would suit them for their needs of whatever sneaker they needed. Or clothes,
Awesome.
whatever the case may be, whatever type of apparel, clothes, accessories, any of that.
When you were doing this, what was this, Foot Locker, you said?
Finish line actually.
Finish line. There we go.
Sure.
So, that's dope as fuck, by the way, because like one thing that I learned from my boys who was working in the shoe industry at that time, I think it was like, what I think that Sports Authority is gone now, right? It's only Dick's.
Mhm.
At the time, they were like, bro, man, Nikes ain't it, bro. If you really want to be a runner shoe, Asics or New Balance, bro, that's really the best of the best if you go invest.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
I don't have any running shoes. I just run in whatever I have, to be honest. But I probably yes. So Nike, I think Nike still has it just because they're just that great of a branding, just powerhouse. But those other companies are definitely competing with them now. Like it's not so far. Like there's not a huge gap between them anymore.
Nice. Now, again, we were talking about how you are probably getting beat down by the blue pill community. Do you believe that you still have the skills that you garnered from Finish Line during that time, or do you believe that like it went up, it went down? Can you still pull on those skills? Where do you feel about that salesmanship between the disconnect of like not feeling like you should take money versus like improving on your own personal self worth and becoming the ultimate version of yourself as a salesman?
I think those skills amplified since then because I'm just a natural salesman.
Nice,
Everything,
nice.
everything that I bring to the table is just sales. Like people want to deal with. I'm at a point in my life where, so like to give you an example, Chris, when we were on that networking business trip, right? I called out of both of my jobs. Obviously, when I got back, both jobs were like, "Oh my God, TC, where have you been? We missed you. We're and once I seen and heard that, I was like, that's the value that I bring. People need my presence to be able to go through their day. So I'm just a natural salesman in general. Like I have to, when I'm there, I'm selling myself. Not like that. Pause. Pause. But it's to the point where people they feel when my presence is not around. So it's easy to sell things because I make like I said, I make it so personable. You think that you're getting a piece of TC. I'm selling you sneakers, but you think you're getting an experience with TC because TC said they get these sneakers. You're like, oh shit, these must be the shit. Because TC said I gotta work out this way. Oh shit, I'm about to be the strongest. Because TC said maybe I should try to go vegan. Oh shit, I'm gonna try that food that TC's trying, right? It's just a personable thing. So I think that salesmanship just amplified throughout the years, especially since I had that background in finish line.
There you go, bro. I am so glad to hear this. I like it because you really are that guy. Like when if you're telling me as soon as you walk away, they really missing you. It
Yeah.
ain't for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You really do put yourself in it and invest so much into it that when you go, they feel like, yo, bro, I'm glad you back, man. You don't
Mhm.
understand. And that says everything, TC, because what you are currently doing is you're shifting into a new frame of mind that's completely visualizing you as the top dog, $10,000 a month business that you did yourself with like just being you. This
Mhm.
is completely about visualization. This is completely about outshining the bullshit because like you naturally probably outshine all the blue pill people, but
Yeah.
it's the politics of the bullshit of the stupidity in their fucking brain. So this visualization is gonna be the key determining factor of your future.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's this is like I used to kind of do this in the sense that the reason I have any success now is because I was always kind of wired for my younger self to give my older self a future. And I do actually have real moments where I'm like, yo, thank God for my younger self putting me here, my boy. And the fact that you already think that way, you're already thinking about 10 years. I promise you, dog, you scale this business up and max this business out with these figures. Dude, by the time that you 36 and say, yo, let me go back into education real quick, bro, you gonna be like, yo, PJ, yo, freshest mentor, PJ. Look at us now, bro. We both
Yeah.
got Bugattis, son.
Yeah. I'm gonna be taking these exotic cars courses and buying all the type of Ferraris and shit.
Exactly, bro. And that's not even talking about the Brandon Carter thing. I've talked to Brandon Carter before, and they do have a high ticket course, and I'm pretty sure that if you at some point decided to get into that, it's just going to extrapolate all your value to another stratosphere, you know?
For sure.
One of the brothers, I think, actually bought it, and he's currently trying to get the value out of it. So whoever you do partner up with, make sure that you get on a couple
Oh,
calls and find the
you're
best of the
absolutely right.
best.
It was Don.
It's done, right? Yeah, because he's
Yes,
the first
Don.
one. Yeah, that makes sense. So, I'll tell you some of the things that I know about how they do what they do. Some of the things that they do is that they'll like line up 100 people on Instagram that are in like the basketball niche, let's say, and
Mhm.
they'll just message all of them, cold approach, cold approach, cold approach, cold approach through the internet, cold message, and just like hit them with like stacks, fats, value, and try to convert one of those people into a customer. And then Biate actually should have automations that would can help you do that kind of a thing, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then really what I focus on is really the scaling and so sales, marketing, advertising, man, the three-headed beast. You need scale, sales, marketing, advertising. That's that three-headed monster that turns into a system. So just like I said before, you come in, you're hungry, you buy the burger, you leave fed. You come in, you got no basketball skills. PC gives you all the one-on training. Now you Michael Jordan. Like it's a system. I come in, the more that we automate the system, the more that it can be physical out there in the real world, and the more it can be digitalized for education. It gets you the best of the best of the best of the best. But also with all these skills encapsulated, you never know. It might be like, yo, Nike calls it up and says, yo, man, we see what you built and we want to buy it off you. $10 million. And be like, all right, cool, take it. And then you go into another business. You know what I'm saying? You never know when that's going to happen because of your structure when you're structuring out the brand. So let's talk about the brand real quick. I never saw, I don't think I've seen the Instagram, but shout out to your dog. You know what I'm going through. Your boy is about to be
Yes,
on
sir.
Instagram
Yeah.
soon and shit.
Yeah, we back.
You know what I'm
Hey, make sure y'all
saying?
tune into his gram when he get back, man. Good content.
Woo!
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. All that, son. Actually, this is gonna be on Instagram too. My
Yep.
boy, you know what I'm saying? We
Yes,
out here.
sir. You know what time it is, man.
So, like, let's say, I go to your basketball page. What is the brand called? What's the genius? Tell me the move.
Mind over matter mentality. I have a bunch of tattoos. That is one of my primary ones. And it is, as you can see and as you know, talking to me, mind over matter. What that means to me is what you're capable of achieving is all in your mind. The matter is what you see in front of you. The matter is what's already been done. The mind, you can do anything. Use that, extrapolate your mind and project that into your real life, and you can achieve anything you want to achieve. That's why I go by mind over matter mentality.
So let's talk about some mind over mentality stuff right now, my boy, because I like this a lot. So it looks like education is in the 10-year plan. So we're really focusing on fitness, basketball, and firefighter right now.
Yes, sir.
Is it that you need 1 to 2 years before you can do this, or can you do this and fitness at the same time?
Um, yeah, so depending on because obviously firefighter hours are all over the place. And I'm probably gonna wanna gear because I already work 90. I'm probably gonna gear it back because I'll be making more money in that realm. But at the same time, like I said, we talked about that mastery. So I want to probably work around 50 to 60 hours a week in firefighting, which leaves a whole nother, if I keep the 90-hour a week frame, that leaves a whole other 30 to 40 hours that I can work with what you're talking about. So I would probably extrapolate those hours and implement what we're talking about, whether that be in the realm of fitness or basketball training.
I love it. So let's start putting some like goals together right now. This is visualization. I'm excited for it. I want to see this happen. I want to see it grow. I'm like pumped up for this right now, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, with the website that I sent you, Selfie, you got on there, you started making it happen, you start throwing some screenshots on Skool, you start saying like, yo, put some packages on there. When do you think you would start getting the mind over matter membership available to the first 10 people? You know what I'm saying? Like when is it that like is it that you need next week? Do you think like after the Castle Club meet the CEO meetup, or like when do you think like for show I can get this to the people like that?
Well, my schedule's about to ramp up, which is even kind of crazy saying that I already work 90 a week. But AAU season is coming around, and I'm also one of the coaches on that program. I was the head coach, but I stepped down due to me wanting to make more money, one. And two, I just been doing so much, I just took the step back, right? But with that season coming around, there's going to be a lot of more hours that I have to
dedicate to that program and to those kids. So I would say after that season, so anywhere in the fall. So I would say between August, so fall in general, August to October. Though within that 2 to 3 month span, I'll probably be able to get it rolling because that's also when basketball season starts. So kids are going to be pouring and wanting to get that training to go.
There you go. Do you want to, like, while we're talking about this, talk a little bit about what AU is, where they can find your, that type of specialty from you?
Absolutely. So AAU, like we talked about already, there are thousands upon thousands of AAU programs across the nation. All of them, I'm not going to say all of them have the same goal. Some of them, like I said, basketball is a glitz and glam type of sport. There's a lot of things that come with it. Money, girls, cars, all types of cool things. So there are AAU programs that are in it for the wrong reasons. But the majority of AAU programs are in it to get more exposure for their kids in the realm of college. They want to get their kids funneled from high school into a decent college, whether that be Division 1, Division 2, or Division 3. That's the point of AAU, to get as much exposure as possible from colleges. Now, where I come into that, my gym that I work at, the private gym that I work at, Higher Expectations actually. Here's some branding right now.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
It's called Higher Expectations.
There it
The,
is.
the color is blue and yellow, or black, blue, and white, right?
Yes,
We go by higher
sir.
expectations because we want to set the standard around here. The level of expectations that we have for these kids needs to be higher because, like we just talked about, the expectations are super low. So when the kids get there, they're not achieving much. We have to hold it higher. So even if they miss high, they still get to land low, right? Or they still get to land high. You shoot for the moon, you hit the stars if you miss short, right? That's our motto. So we have an AAU program called Defy the Odds. That's where I come in. That's where the AAU comes in. We have a culmination of local kids that have the same goal that we have for them, is to get them into the next level, which is college. We have a bunch of standards and a bunch of expectations that they have to meet, requirements that they have to meet our team. So, for example, they have to have at least a C plus average for their grades. They have to be respectful. They have to make sure that the rapport between themselves and their family, just a bunch of moral things that we have to have in place for them to meet the requirements for our team. That's just us, though. Not every AAU program is like this. Like I said, another, I would say, thing we have to hold over AAU teams is we have our own gym. So that allows us to practice more than other AAU teams. We get to get in the gym more than other AAU teams. We get to, implement more ideas, more defensive and offensive philosophies, and throw more just skill work at our kids than other AAU teams. So that's, like I said, where we come in. And also, I get to travel with the kids. That's also fun. I've been to places that I've never been to in America because of AAU. So those kids get to travel, they get to play basketball in other areas of the country that they've never been in, and also get that exposure that we're talking about. Last year, like I said, the kid that we were talking about, he had such a terrible GPA. It was virtually impossible to get him into a school. But he went out and he outperformed all of the players in this specific AAU circuit that we had. There was, I would say, 18 teams. So 18 times 12, that's about how many players were there. A bunch of players. He outshined a majority of them to the point where he got a bunch of colleges to come to him. Most of them were disregarded because of his grades, like I said. But there was one JUCO that was very interested in him and willing to offer him the opportunity. That is what we're doing all of the shit we're doing for. All of that practice, all of those skill work, all of that requirements that we're holding. We have all of that because we want that one opportunity. And he was an exception. The only reason he was an exception is because he was a family or a friend. That's his grades were low, but he was so talented, and we had to get him out of the city because if you know anything about Springfield, Massachusetts, whoever doesn't know, you can look it up. The crime rate is it's insane. And the problem with our city is that we have kids who are funneled from basketball right into the street life. We didn't want that for this specific kid because he's a very high character kid. So we made that one exception for the grades. Everything else he has morally sound though. He's very great rapport with his family, great rapport. He's a very respectful, high character kid. He just had a very tough time in the classroom, and he's getting that very attention that he needs in the JUCO that he's at right now. But like I said, that's the one exception that we made. But we did all of that for that one opportunity that we got out in Milwaukee. That right there. That's all we're doing, all this shit we're doing for. So that's the premise of AAU. You're practicing, you're still developing, then you're traveling. It's a travel league. You're traveling all across the country to play in front of crowds of college coaches to hope for the recruitment of one of them.
Dude, bro, I'm telling you, stories like this is what will fill up your booking like crazy, dude. Like, even though you think you're gonna start this in August, I would say build out that thing right now. Start selling the scarcity, and even if it's in August, start selling it now, and it
Mm.
will book up with stories like this. I mean, you could just pre-record so much content or live stream so much content about exactly these kind of stories and about how you've changed people's life and made a difference in people's life and kept people off the streets and kept them straight edge. TC, bro, this is hero shit, and you're not even in the firefighter uniform right now. You know what I'm saying? You're literally operating like a hero 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, my boy.
Thank you, brother.
It's so noble, though. Your outlook on life is very rare, man. Like I guarantee you're around a bunch of people that either will appreciate you the most or don't appreciate you at all, bro. It's insane to even think that you think like that is crazy, bro. Very, very rare. Ladies, let me tell you something, man. You fucking up. You fucking up right now.
Hey, we'll worry
Right
about
now.
that. They gonna be around forever. We gotta get rich. We gotta get rich first. That's the
They
goal.
turn 18 every day, you know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
Bro, tell
I'm
you,
not in no rush. That's a fact.
bruh, ladies, you know what I'm saying? If you got sat on the back burner, you know, you missed out because of scarcity right now.
Yeah, they are.
So then, like, I'm glad that we played some of this plan so I can like get like your sales skills. And I really think you're sitting on a $100,000 a year business that you need to really like put the works in. Like if this was all built already, would you sell it? Like if you had it all done right now?
Yes.
Like why not,
Myron,
right?
Myron would be pissed, but yes. And the only reason why I'm hesitant to say yes is because the government position, such as a firefighter, is one very difficult to get. And as you guys can see, for those of you who don't know the process, right? I took the actual like written test, a written exam back in October. I took the physical exam in November. I passed the physical exam. They told me my scores off the muscle. The written exam, it took about 3 to 4 months for them to even mention it, but I passed both. I'm still at this point in time. Right now, we are in March. I'm still waiting on a high, like an invite to an interview. So we don't even know if I have the position yet, but I passed both portions of the exams. So that's how hard it is to get into these government positions. So that's why Myron is so adamant, like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You need to take this job. And he's right, because the benefits are insane. It looks great on my resume. There's way too many pros and not enough cons for me to want to not for me to not take it. So that's why he'd be pissed. That's the only reason why I wouldn't take the business right away, because I still need to wait to see if I got that position. Because if I got that position, it changes the trajectory of the whole business in the first place. That's literally second. It's a plan B for me, the business, if I get that
I
job.
understand. I understand.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That's a great problem to have because no
Yes.
matter
Exactly.
what, the Brotherhood is making sure that whatever trajectory you go, iron sharpens iron, my boy. Between me,
Exactly.
between Myron, between the whole Brotherhood, we're gonna make sure you're in a good place. You feel me?
Sure.
You're winning no matter what. That's failure is not an option, dude.
And I'm glad you said that, Chris. Those are the type of problems that we're gonna have. Because I'm gonna drop a gem on the people real quick. The reason why I work the way I do, right? There's children in Gaza. There's people in Africa. There's people in these third world countries who do not have the opportunities that America, the greatest fucking country in the world, provide us today. Why would I act like a bitch and not get up and go work? There's people that literally have the ability or don't have the ability, the capability to work. They have blown off limbs. They have heart diseases. They have health issues that they are literally negated to work. They can't work. Why would I not take the opportunity to go work and be the best version of myself every fucking day that I can? I've gone to work sick. I don't sleep at all. I don't know if you guys know. I sleep like 3 to 4 hours a day. I go to work tired. I don't give a fuck. And that's why I'm so relentless on what I do, because there's literally people who wish they had the opportunities that I had. I'm complaining about not knowing if I want to start a business or be a fucking firefighter. Do you guys know how privileged I am right now? I do. And that's why I go to work the way I do every fucking day. I'm passionate about what I do because I have the opportunity, I have the privilege to do so. There's people in the world who wish to be in the position that you were in, and you're being lazy, you're being fat, you're being a bitch, you're complaining about shit that doesn't fucking matter. So you need to turn it around. That's for the people right there. That's all for the people. Turn it the fuck around and turn it the fuck up.
Yes, sir. We're looking at a coach, son. Let him
Word.
know.
That was
Let him
Coach
know.
TC. My fault. That was Coach TC. He came out. He came out.
Bro, let them know, man. Like like I surround myself with such good people right now that I sometimes forget, other than the stupid ones, I forget how like lazy bro, I don't understand the laziness. I just don't have it. You know what I'm saying? I
Doesn't
don't get it.
resonate with me. It doesn't resonate. Get the fuck up and get active. Go to the gym. Go work out. Go work 40 hours a week. 40 hours is minimum as a fucking American. There's business owners. There's people that don't have to work 40 hours a week that are working 60 plus. Once I heard Brandon Carter, once I heard Wes Watson, once I heard PJ, once I heard Myron, all of these guys who are already millionaires and they're still fucking putting in 70 hours of work a week, and you're complaining about being rich and being poor and living paycheck to paycheck, but you're working 38 hours a week, get the fuck out of here, bro. That's bullshit. You don't want to get rich. You don't want to get money. You don't want to be in a better position. You don't want to perpetuate yourself to have a better future. You're content with where you are. And that's the fucking problem. That's why you're lazy. That's why you're fucking broke. Period.
Facts. Yo, literally, we live in a world where dudes are complaining about wanting to become a millionaire without actually doing the work to become a millionaire while also cutting off their penis at the exact same time that they want to go and promote communism but not live in a communist country, or promote having illegal aliens come into our country. And they actually did a prank where people were dressing up as Kamala voters and going and dropping off fake illegals to their house and saying, hey, look, we have a bunch of them. Will you take them inside your house right now? All of them said no. So they're complaining about shit that they don't even want, while the boy is out here just trying to fucking hustle and make it in the land of freedom, baby.
Yep.
Well, we fucking shine in the golden age, boy.
Yeah.
Let's
I mean,
go.
they can stay in the clown world. I got my red pill glasses on. So do you, brother. We're gonna see right through all the bullshit.
Yes, sir. All day. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yo, TC, bro, you are in fact in a great position, my guy. I pray like crazy. Like, if the firefighter thing is what you put all your force into and that's what you want to come through, then it just works for you. And it just comes through and you just be the best of the best. But under conditions that you live, because that's a very dangerous job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay alive, bro. You know what I'm saying? We can't have like a bridge falling on your head or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I saw the movie Ladder 49. That shit was very sad. I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I did. Very sad movie.
Yeah, right? Yo, what the
Yeah.
fuck, man? Shit was insane, you know? But like, if you're doing it and it's like a badass, you know what I'm saying? Good thing for you. Fantastic. I have a personal question. I saw the like State of the Union address or the addressing the Congress with Donald Trump last night, and I have a dude who's in the Council Club who left the military because of how blue pill the military is. He says it's so gay now that you can't like get anything done, and he just had to leave because he was like, "Fuck this!" Like I came in, but this is not what the army was in my mind 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? And he's younger than me. He's the same age as you, 26.
Yeah.
So is it also that the education system is the government positions, are the firefighters also like kind of blue pilled like to the extreme? Have you seen that? And you'd be like the only one of like a red pill mentality amongst blue pills. What do you think you're gonna be like engaging in as far as the culture goes mentally?
It's a great question. And once again, I am in Mass, a very blue state. So typically everywhere you go is blue. Like you still see Obama posters, you still see people with Kamala signs on their lawn. I would assume based off of just proximity that they would be blue pill. But in the same breath, you have to now you're right. Because there are Myron was talking about it. There are female firefighters. I don't know if I'm trusting women with my life in that type of life or death situation. I don't know. Because yes. So I'm gonna answer your question. Yes, there are a bunch of blue pill. Because there's yes. The answer is yes to your question.
And there ain't nothing really you can do about that. You're still gonna be like a majestic fish swimming around a bunch of minnows and shit, as
Yeah.
far as the ideological outlook. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But trusting your life to a woman is stupid. That doesn't even make sense.
At all.
It doesn't make sense.
At
Like
all. Yeah.
even when I talk, like, bro, there is some female entrepreneurs that I know that are badass. Okay, but in general, that is not the case. Like some of them that try to get into like what we're doing, they don't fucking know. They don't know how to make decisions. They're not decisive. They're not good with money. Bro, I challenge you. Ask any girl in your phone that you know right now. Call her up and say, "Hey, look, Emily, would you rather have $500,000 or $700,000?" And I guarantee you, they're gonna say half a million.
They're gonna say 500,000 easily.
Right, bro? It
Did you?
happens.
Were you
bro.
there? Well, I'm pretty sure you saw the Fresh and Fit. They do it often, where they'll be like, "Would you rather one Bitcoin or $10,000?"
And they go
And
ten thousand
they
dollars.
always say
Well,
$10,000.
well, Bitcoin, I'm pretty sure it's at 90,000 fucking dollars right now, right? You dumb, yo, bro. It
Oh man,
shows you
yeah,
the most consumers in America, the biggest consumers. I'm gonna give you some game right now. Most of the consumers are women, right?
yeah.
Get this, bro. There's like, I want to say, there's a lot of millionaires in America. There's a lot of millionaires in America. And at this exact moment, I'm pretty sure if you looked it up through ChatGPT or Google or whatever, I think there's actually only 17 Bitcoin left.
Yeah.
So let's say that there's 2,400 millionaires. 17 of them could buy a Bitcoin and there would be no more Bitcoin.
Hmm.
That's how many people don't really know about this shit.
Yeah.
That's just the facts.
It's mind blowing though. When you put it that way, when you put the numbers out there so people can actually hear it, fucking crazy. It's
Yeah,
insane.
like, bruh, if you got excess mill, you should have been bought them Bitcoin so nobody could have it except you. You've been the richest people on earth.
Easily. Because we seen what it did, dog. It hit 100K. People said it wasn't gonna do that at all. I can only imagine with Trump, Elon, JD are all gonna, because they're all tech bros. They all are into that shit. They're gonna boast that shit up.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Because I mean, I'll be honest. I've been playing with artificial intelligence for 5 years, and I understand it very, very, very well. And what they see in the future, I don't know what they think it's going to be unless their automations completely go above and beyond anything that we touched in the public eye. Because what we have right now in the public eye, as far as everything that I played with, is very it's very just it's script. It's script. It's just it's a script called Python. It just writes a lot of words really fast. But
Hmm.
like at this moment in time, right? Artificial intelligence has been out for 5 years. It hasn't made gas more like epic, or it hasn't made it like more efficient. Hasn't made planes more aerodynamic. It hasn't done like anything that's actually changed the world yet. You know what I mean? It hasn't done anything significant. It does save time with automations on the internet, but like the artificial intelligence would need to get to a place where it's like, yo, TC, you just made airplanes more aerodynamic, and now Boeing can use the software that you sold to Boeing so they can get their airplane from point A to point B faster at a more fuel efficient rate. And oh, by the way, that's a $1.3 billion move that you made in all of the air flight industry. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if with that power that they're giving that out to the general public, or if you can discover that through the systems that we have right now and then implement it and execute it. So whatever that they see the future to be, I don't think that we have it yet. I think that they have uncensored AI that just lets you do whatever the fuck that they want to do. They get to have it, and we have public bullshit at this
Yep.
moment in time. You know what I mean?
I
And
agree.
it's like first come first serve. Like, hey, we rich, we run the world, we get the best of the best, and you get the scraps. And you're really seeing that now, in my opinion. But you are right. Like, we are living in a world where automations are coming up. And if you can see, that's why we're talking about your basketball business. If you can apply this to basketball business, you can apply that to your skill. And if you can apply that to your skill, then you can start thinking on a grand scale.
Hmm.
And you never know when you're following a path how you just jump up certain levels because of your focus. And
Yeah.
I mean, bro, you're probably, if there is a guy who's gonna be that kind of guy, you're probably that guy. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Fuck, my boy. So let's see. In recapping some of the stuff here, my dog is a fucking legend when it comes to education, firefighting, and training people in basketball and fitness. Let's talk just a little bit about fitness. Do you help people like work out, get abs, get bigger, bench press, body build,
So
any of that stuff?
I currently communicate with at least 5 people on a daily basis about macros, about if they worked out on a like the day or whatever the case may be. Because, like I said, I don't talk about things unless I've experienced it to the point where I'm able to talk about it. So every day on my story on Instagram, you'll see me at 5 a.m. posting that I'm working out. People kind of okay, they've seen it and they're like, oh, this is an ongoing thing because people are very trendy. I'm not a trendy person. When I post something, it's because I'm doing this shit every fucking day. So they noticed that and they realized the results that I was getting. So they were like, oh, so TC's doing it and I'm starting to get into this realm. I want to lose weight. I want to look better. I want to feel better. How can I do so? Then they reach out to me. Like I said, I have about 5 people that I talk to on a daily basis about what they're consuming, how they're consuming it, how they're tracking their macros, if they're doing certain splits for the week. We talk about that shit on a daily basis. So I already have the knowledge, and it's easy because, like I said, I talk to guys on a daily basis in the Castle Club realm, in the fitness realm specifically, Angelo being one of them, and we talk about macros and how to track and what optimally looks like for you to work out on a day-to-day basis, if you should work out 5 days a week or 3 days a week, or if you have time to do so, if you don't have time to do so, if you can work out at home. Like, I have all these things in my mind because when I experienced myself, because I wasn't fat, but I was overweight for what I am. I'm getting back to 200 pounds now, but a fit 200. I was like 218 pounds like 2 years ago, and I was just sloppy. I didn't look good, but I decided to snap out of it and get back in the gym. And people saw that. Like, I have the results. I have the pictures. I have the transformation photos where you can see where I was and where I am now. And people are like, oh, he has the results. He has the proof. I'm going to follow that. I want to follow him. So, yeah, I have that experience as well.
My fucking guy, bro. So, that's pretty impressive because most people don't know how to count macros. So the fact that you're managing other people's numbers, know your numbers. The person who knows their numbers is the best person in business.
Exactly.
Whoever knows their numbers the most is the one who will be the best at all business for all time. So, like, recapping a lot of the stuff that we talked about here, I think that the future is so bright for you, my dude. Like, yeah, I know that we kind of paint the picture in a way where these blue pill fuckers are fucking up the vibe, but you don't have to rely on that anymore. You really do have Brotherhood, so you don't gotta worry too much about these motherfuckers and how they think and their stupid ass way of looking at the world. You don't have to let it affect you so much. Because like things that I like to talk to you about is like building up your personal portfolio. You know what I mean? Like once you have so much access or so much money coming in, it would then be like in the next episode of you and me talking, we talk about like, your stock portfolio, crypto portfolio, high yield savings accounts, connecting you to brothers that are in real estate. So you have a real estate portfolio. So now you have like portfolio. So all your money, now $1 goes out and it works for you and it comes back and brings back more dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like you have like a working portfolio and then like 15 girlfriends managing your portfolio, you know what I'm saying? And then, while they taking care of you and stuff, you building out like a bigger business, improving the brand, just like these kind of things are your future. And that makes me very happy to know that there's a brother out there with such a bright future because you actually make a lot of people's future bright. So it is all, I told this to Kaz yesterday. I told him I read a book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. And in that book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, it's set up as a man is interviewing the devil and saying, you are so heinous, but at least let me ask you why you're so heinous. Why do you do what you do? And he says, I do heinous things. I created cigarettes so people would smoke them. I created the wrong combination of food so people would eat bad things over time. I invented arguments in marriage so it would split them up. I am the one who does all these heinous things. And if you wanted to be more close to the opposition, which is God for him, right? He calls it the opposition. If you wanted to be more close to opposition, he says, and then the interviewer asked him, well, like, yeah, if I wanted to be, far from you and closer to the opposition, closer to God, what would I do? And he says, well, my young lad, if I was you, I would go and scream to the sky. I would shout and demand from the opposition, being God, for my blessings. I would demand the best versions of myself from God. I would shout at the sky until he rewarded me with all the things that I needed. And the point of this story is this part. He says, because in truth, when you're approaching wealth and you really want to get wealthy, what it comes down to is that all the wealth that a man gives to the world is all the wealth that a man then receiveth from the world.
Absolutely.
And your value is fucking huge, by the way. Like,
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Like this is just like I said, this is just like the rough draft of some numbers and some ideas. I guarantee you, if we sat down and just labbed out your personal ability to lock in on your value and communicate that through digital and physical, you just be making, in terms of money and business and authenticity, you're making a good community, dude. That's really what it comes down to. You're really someone that can be a community leader and build a community. And once you put income in a community, that helps you build that community even bigger. So it is incumbent upon you to be able to do that for even the community's sake, because you literally need to make money to be the best version of you, because there's something special about your light that in the best version of your light, you make everyone else around you better. And that's really the truth, TC. I've seen it firsthand, and I keep hearing it in your testimony, bro. You are a special guy, and you need to really like hone in on that and harness that gift and really be the truest version of yourself to yourself and to the people around you, because you've locked in on that so very well. So then that being said, my boy, we're gonna hit up some closing thoughts, because you know what I'm saying, you're on my end. I'm excited to get back on Instagram, man. It's been like too many days. You know what I'm saying? Your boy got it.
There's always light at the end of that tunnel, brother. You back and
I'm
better.
back. I'm fucking back. I don't even like that company, but I'm back on.
We got to use them so we can expand that platform, man. You know what it is.
Yes, sir. That's what we are about to do, my boy. But listen, right before we go and we start hitting the closing thoughts, please hit us with some shout outs. Shout out your people that you know need to hear from TC. Let them know the truth, who the boy is. Shout out your people, man.
First and foremost, shout out to Big Dog Chris for giving me this platform to even give these ideas, bounce these ideas off of him, and just to get the knowledge that I have been longing for so long. So thank you, Chris, for providing me with this opportunity, first and foremost. I would also like to shout out, even though the city isn't always so loving, I would love to shout out Springfield, Massachusetts. You are where you came from, and I am Springfield. Wherever I go, from wherever this point leads me to, I'm going to be Springfield regardless. I would like to shout out, like I said, once again, Higher Expectations. This is the gym that I train out of. My brother Jordan Allmore had a great idea to start this gym and start this company, start this business through the just love and passion of basketball and wanting to be getting the youth better. So I back him in that mission, and I'm going to continue to back him in that mission. I also want to shout out all of my players that right now that are in high school aspiring to be college athletes. You know I got you guys. Continue to work with me, and I promise you I'll get you guys to the destination that you belong to 100%, tenfold. I want to shout out Fresh and Fit. You guys have given me the opportunity to meet the most amazing men that I've ever met. These guys are already brothers, and I only been with them for 4 to 5 days out of 1 month of one year, right? And I met them. I grew in a tremendous bond that is going to be unbreakable. They got my back, and I got theirs 100%. So shout out to Fresh and Fit for doing that. Shout out to Fresh and Fit specifically for having the balls to do what they do and spread the message that they do on a daily basis, whether that comes from dating, political views with Myron, networking with Fresh, anything. Shout out Bills, shout out Chris, shout out Mo, shout out the whole Fresh and Fit crew that helped project the show and make it the best quality show that it is. Shout out to all of the normies, because you guys pushed me away from seeing the bullshit and wanting to see what's real. If you guys weren't so fucking dumb, I would be dumb with you, but not as dumb as you. And I wouldn't be able to see what's going on in the red pill and see the real. And also, I want to shout out my boy, right? So this is one of the players. This is the exchange of value that we talk about, Chris, right? One of my players actually is a businessman himself. This is his brand called Vestige Official. Vestige Official on Instagram. Shout out to him. He makes killer clothing, great quality sweater. Especially if you're out in a colder state like myself in Massachusetts, great quality, great look, great style, great fit. Go shout him out. Go look at his shop. You're gonna find something that you would like to wear. And once again, man, I can't shout you out enough, Chris. Shout out to the boy Chris. Very hospitable. He didn't have to do anything that he's done for me up until this point, up until the Zoom call, but he did it out of the love, out of wanting to see his brothers do better. And I promise you that all of that energy, all of that love, all of that support is gonna be reciprocated tenfold. He's got my back, and I got his forever. Shout out to Chris, brother.
Yo, let's fucking go, man. I appreciate that, my boy.
Yes, sir.
Of course, shout out to my dog. You know what I'm saying? TC in the building. And then I'm actually shout out a whole bunch of dudes from the Castle Club Miami. So let's go ahead and do it right now. Brother Chase, you got a chance to meet him.
Absolutely.
Bruno, Manny, Pablo, Sergey, Tez, Jude, Drew, Carlos, Otis, Eduardo, Lewis, Andy, Joseph, Sean, OG, Beck. You guys already know, boy. Shout out to Bayate too, man. Throwing that out there real quick. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and pull up the brothers from the Airbnb squad real quick. I'm going to shout out all of them legends too, man.
Shout out the guys, man.
Yes, sir. So that includes Brother Mike, Brother Julian, Bayate, Patrick. You already know TC, you know what I'm saying? Omar, Sammy, Kent, Jason, Roger, Don, Tom, bro. Where did you go, Tom? We looking for you, bro. Abdul. You know what I'm saying, brother Buelo? You know what it is.
Yeah.
Jaleel, Suki. We need those photos, Suki. We got to hit him up for the photos.
Shout
Kaz,
out Suki.
Julian, and Ivan. Brother, yo, we are the fucking Castle Club. Of course, shout out to Myron, Fresh, Icy, J Pills, Big Mo, Aaron, Melissa. All of you are the fucking squad. I don't think you understand how thankful we are to you. I wish you guys had more time to receive the blessings we all want to give you, man. This
Absolutely.
is some legendary stuff that we're doing on a daily basis. Look at this army we have of bros that are just trying to make the world a better place, son. You can't ask for something more special than that. And that's exactly what the fuck we are. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
You
And
feel me?
speaking of armies, we gonna keep this because I don't know if you're gonna put this on Instagram or not. Myron, shout out OSS squad, man. We around. We around.
Yo,
We gonna cultivate. We gonna take over. Shout out OSS.
yes, sure. Shout out to that squad. You know what I'm saying? I support everything Brother Myron says, man. Hell yeah. Woo! So, that being said, all the ladies and gentlemen that were watching this with me and Brother TC, TC, bro, shout out your Instagram a million times, bro. Tell them where they can find you right now.
All right, my Instagram at is TC_Doe. The Doe is spelled DOEEEE 1K. TC_DOEE 1K. You'll find me on just Instagram. I don't have any other platforms right now. Once we expand, we're gonna probably get TikTok. We're probably gonna get X. We're gonna get all of the social media platforms. But for right now, most of my content, personal, is on TC_DOEEEE 1K. If you want to see my basketball content, that's where all of my coaching is. That's where all of my skills work. And even my actual coaching on the bench for high school teams, high school games, whatever the case may be, you can find that at Mind Over Matter Mentality. Once again, mind over matter mentality. No special spelling.
Boom, there we freaking go. So for everybody, man, if you don't link in with my boy now, he's already got limited spots for anything that he's about to do. But if you go ahead and send him a DM and you're watching this right now, you probably get in one of those special spots right now. Obviously, it's limited. We talked about it here. It's happening. It is what it is. Like you're in the game, you're out the game, but you should probably get in the game if you want to be improving with people like us, man. That being said, you and me, TC, I'm gonna stop the recording in a second. We're gonna chill for a second on our own time. But for all the people, thank you for tuning in. Please join Revenue Mentor. If you want another episode of Fresh Match, go ahead and bother Fresh about that. And please, my boy TC, bring me some more people to this. I'm gonna make sure you benefit too, my boy. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do that.
Absolutely, brother.
Let's fucking go. All right. Peace out, y'all people. Me and TC gonna talk real quick.